favor of Zeus. But do you know what the hearts of the Brolevers tells you?
It's
Stats
your boy
don't
King
mean
of June.
anything.
Stats are just numbers,
boy
and numbers are just
Faker
made
here.
up, right?
Yeah.
It's just a concept.
No, they are.
We can
It's something
easily
that
ignore.
man came up with numbers, all right, and therefore they can't be real.
The Giga
It's not
Chess versus
natural. It's not
the
normal.
beta T1.
Yep.
Not Lord Morgan approved.
No, definitely not. Let's welcome T1 out into LoL Park, though. Still playing with Poby in the mid lane. Not entirely sure when Faker is going to be making his way back, and we'll see whether...
The YouTube crowd is the more chill crowd. The Twitch crowd is the autistic.
Is okay, man, bro.
Why you looking at me?
They've been, you know, some competitive series against opponents who a lot of people thought might just be stomping them.
Yeah, and they've made sure that they've come out swinging. Game number 1 has been where they've reigned supreme. Things have kind of fallen to the wayside after that, but if we had best of ones, man.
And you know what it is?
What is it?
The orange jerseys.
Yeah?
They're doing a lot of work.
This is the upgrade. And we'll see
I hope
whether OK Savings Bank Breon are going to be able to bring it over the line against T1 here today. I actually think that, you know, we do a little bit of joking around. We do a little bit of, oh, it's probably still going to be T1 favored. But I think this one might be closer than people think. Umpty, look at this. Look at how much he gets done in the early stages.
You know, I'm not even going to joke here. Owner has looked pretty rough, and Umpty has actually been such a massive force for this roster. His round 2 performance has been phenomenal. So I actually think this is a favored matchup for Bro. I think that if we see them play how they have been in the last couple of weeks, Umpty will be carrying through the jungle, and Owner honestly has to step up his game to match Umpty, which is such a weird thing to say.
Yeah, it is.
It's true.
It is absolutely true, and I think that Owner has been the one that's suffered the most from the loss of Faker, because I think that Owner's hands have always been really, really good, but he isn't one of the cerebral junglers here in the LCK. He's not one of the peanuts, one of the canyons that understands exactly where to be and what to do at all times. He didn't have to, though, because he had Carrier and he had Faker telling him where he needed to be and what he needed to do, in theory, right? And what it's looked like is that he's lost half of that and has now not had the same level of confidence.
But I think you look at a lot of our teams and you see how important the mid-jungle synergy is. You know, Canyon Showmaker, you have Chovy Peanut, you have BDD and Cuz, and you can see that when the pairing is strong, it makes such a massive difference. And, you know, Poby has obviously had some struggles joining, but I think replacing Faker with anyone, and you'd obviously need time for that synergy to build up, and Owner has definitely looked a little bit rough as a result. Some underperformances you can't really just attribute to synergy or the missing of Faker. It's kind of been individual as well, some mechanical errors, but definitely the team just doesn't look on the same level. So hopefully look for the bounce back. They have been looking better in the last week in their recent matches. So yeah, I think fans can be a little bit optimistic, but expectations need to be realistic. If you beat Bro, that is still a big win for this team, which I think last split, you just expect it.
No, exactly. And I think that Bro, thinking about this as an opportunity to really solidify their chances at making that playoff run, right? Like, getting up to 4 victories is absolutely huge. And celebrity fans here to support the Bros. Chimchuk Man is apparently one of the guys here, Kim True. And Magic Park. Oh, Magic Park's back. So he was here a couple of weeks ago. So Bro just making sure that they've got absolutely everyone supporting.
And to be honest, it's cool to be a Bro fan.
Exactly. And I think that the Bro leavers in chat are also ready to be Bro fans.
Yeah, I don't know.
Donating all of their points, and this time around, their points might be safe.
I don't know if you saw, there's a lot of interviews with Christopher Nolan with the release of his recent film.
Yeah,
and I believe one of them,
I've seen a lot of those.
I believe one of them he said, Bro is my favorite LCK team.
No, I think that was in the Vice interview, I'm pretty sure.
Yes. I think his next plan is a documentary.
Yeah.
On Bro.
Wow,
so
it's
similar to, like, honestly, with Christopher Nolan, it's like watching Henry Cavill interviews and he, like, calls himself a nerd all the time.
Yeah.
Like, Christopher Nolan, he's, like, calling himself a Bro fan. It's like, we get it, dude. Like, you don't need to talk about it all the time. Anyway, let's...
If it's a true fan, we'll see him in chat any second now.
Yeah, no, he's probably already there. He's probably calling his T1 bias in the chat. That's probably what's happening. All right, well, T1 will be on the blue side to start things off. We can see that the Kai'Sa and the Tristana have both been banned away. Poppy also going to be removed as Nico finally taken off the board. And T1, LeBlanc going to be taken away.
What?
This is a little bit of a worry. We've seen LeBlanc really slipping, and this gives Umpty Sejuani.
Yeah, and especially you could go Sejuani Renekton as well. Morgan
like better steady shift users than LeBlanc,
super well recently, so got a lot of confidence to pick up the LeBlanc early for Poby, but I'm not too confident in the pick itself. Azir is often something that we see LeBlanc picked into, can obviously harass from distance, but I think most Azirs have been surviving the laning phase pretty fine against it, so we'll see what they opt for. If they go Azir Sejuani here, they could go like Jax on 3 if Renekton's taken by T1, and obviously Sejuani Jax really good in Renekton. But
wait, does Azir buy static shift?
Want to secure the AD carry pickup with Kai'Sa banned away. Felios kind of standing up as that higher prio pick left available. We'll see if T1 opt to go in the direction of something like the Sejuani plus top laner for Zeus angle.
Yeah, I actually find it very interesting that they don't take away the Sejuani. Sejuani Aphelios could have been a decent way to do it, but also these Sejuani compositions have been falling flat on their face.
Yeah.
And so we are going to see the Jax Sejuani locked in. What does Pro have? Because they know that this is what was happening, right? And we need to see some sort of big
Bro is already winning
to what was pretty obvious.
Yeah, I feel like I could imagine them going for the Gragas angle, as it's decent into Jax,
engage
but with the nerfs, it hasn't been holding up as well in lanes, it's been a bit lower priority.
Vi open, wait, Vi is open.
Would be very risky,
man.
But also very Morgan. So,
yes.
Wukong?
You know,
I just pick one of them.
I could kind of vibe with that.
Boy,
He's got the safer option, he's gone for the Gragas in this situation, so good at dealing with the melee threat of the Jax. And also T1 investing heavily in the top side rotation has meant that they haven't picked up their AD carry. I think Xayah would make a lot of sense as a ban. You know, Xayah Rakan still open and available for the side of T1.
Yeah, plenty of things to be taken away here. The Xayah is going to be the first one that is taken off the board. Melio and Aphelios together have been pretty strong, so that one will be denied on the side of T1. Still,
I guess there is
efforts pick up to be locked in. I'd expect an R4 jungler, and you don't need to necessarily then worry about Rel and things like that. Effort is a fantastic Alistar player, or has been in the past.
Maybe if it was like Samira Rel, it could be, but to be honest, into Azir, I think Gragas, I just think it's not going to happen. So realistically, yeah, Draven makes a lot more sense. Jinx is open and available. That's something T1 could go towards. There's definitely options. It's just, I feel like once you get past like that, Kai'Sa, Aphelios, Xayah, the pool widens, but they're definitely a lot lower priority in terms of what you want to pick up. T1 actually banning away the Blitzcrank, weirdly enough. Considering we often only really see Blitzcrank bans if you're planning to pick Milio, but they also ban Milio, so
now you really don't expect Milio. Not only is he banned, but the counters are also banned. Yeah, no, I don't understand. And so that is a Skana. That's going to be locked in here for Umpty. Maybe this was the plan all along. The anti-Sejuani Bristle synergy or expectation. And then the Skana comes out. Carrier back on his Thresh, though. Jinx Thresh, a lot of safety towards the bottom side of the map. And we know what Carrier can do on this champion.
Yep, that kind of explains the Blitzcrank ban, you know, often picked into the Thresh. And also, Skana's going to have a hard time ever getting on top of a key target when the Lantern is there to play around with. Obviously, though, going to be a bit trickier for Zeus to impact the team fights when there is a Skana, when there is a Zia and a Gragas bouncing you up and around.
I don't know what they buff, but every time I see him, he's broken right now.
Might just go towards that Rakan in this situation.
Not historically fantastic into Thresh.
Yeah, it can be played out of it. But I think if you just play the lane fairly stably, you're still going to have that engaged potential in team fights. I don't think you're too concerned. Ultimately, T1, you know, they have a scaling bot side. They have a top lane to play through, but the Gragas might cause some issues. I'm interested to see how much impact Umpty can make on this Skana, though. Obviously, some decent skirmishing power in the early levels, good gank potential, and we have seen him be having that early impact that has really allowed Bro to find the early leads in some of these games.
I'm actually very interested to see how this one is going to go, especially towards that top side of the map, given the fact that Sejuani Jax is so much power, and it's so much power in the hands of Zeus. And Zeus has been extraordinary. Like the largest improvement I've seen from T1 is him stepping up on the top side of the map when it was sort of all of them together, not really finding too much form after Faker did leave. So I'm a little bit frightened for the bros when it comes to the top side, but we've seen Morgan be able to mitigate a fair few of these matchups, especially into the Jax on his Gragas. So it could be that they can just weather the storm and then hope that the Jax doesn't become too big, because their early games have been very strong on the side of Bro.
Yeah, they have, and I think I am a little bit concerned about how the laning phase goes, because obviously top side you've talked about, but also bot lane, I think that has been a weakness for Bro at times in the 2v2, and despite everything, despite some rough performances from Carrier, Gumisi and Carrier have been pretty solid in the 2v2, finding a lot of 2v2 kills, and there is definitely the potential for that, especially playing the Rakan, something that is quite squishy. If you get hit by a death sentence, that might end up being a death sentence.
Could certainly be. Let's jump onto the Rift here for game 1. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the Rift for the first game of the first series of the final day of the week here in the LCK. Bro, they've brought out the Skana yet again, and he's gone the lawnmower skin. Quite like it. It's not my personal favorite. I kind of like the rocks. I like the rocks one, where he's like all connected together with plants.
Oh, not Rocks Tigers.
No,
oh, that'd be cool.
That'd be Peanut. That wouldn't be Skana. Karis is also on the Easy Hoon hype train that we've seen. Like, everyone's just been picking up Easy Hoon skin on the Azir. I'm actually all for it, and now picking it into T1 as well.
I feel like
for the
every time Azir Aphelios is picked, it's like
sending that message.
It's a good combo, but I don't know about the champions around.
Once again, the Power
Rider.
Rider.
To protect these two,
I feel like
two birds.
People have
Why not Zoids, man? Zoid's skin's so cool.
Yeah, I don't know. People just they're yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yep. Yeah, it's just that thing where like almost every Sejuani has gotten that skin, and you know, it's a fun skin, but it's like there needs to be some variety.
I feel like Ona does do like the what's the Russian bear one.
I like that one.
That one's pretty cool. But I think he has done that one in the past. So I don't think that that Ona is our biggest offender. I think it's Peanut as the Poro guy more often than not. But we're digressing a little. We do have the laning phase upon us here towards this bottom side as Effort and Carrier just
I always think like if you play
sharing some attacks
like
with one another.
Get level
Effort
2
landing the Gleaming Quill is actually going to be important.
So
I think
I would like try to get the supports to kill the wave
sustain of Rakan.
Quicker.
With landing Q poke.
I guess that's not always the case.
I mean, it's a big reason why he really came to the meta is they buffed his Q to like ridiculous levels. Back when it was like Ashe support and stuff, they're like, hey, you know how we can make you survive against Ashe? We'll make it so your Q is like a Soraka heal.
There you go.
And, you know, then Ashe got nerfed and stuff, and Ashe left the meta, but Rakan still will just win trades by hitting Q once. And you can see very defensive summoners coming out from Brion. Definitely suggesting that they know they're on the back end of this matchup. Jinx good enough Aphelios, but also just the thresh from Carrier. So we got Cleanse for Henna and Heal for Effort. They really just want to be surviving here, which is kind of the story of their entire comp across the board, you know? I mean, Azir's fine in the early game, don't get me wrong, but like top lane is very much about surviving the Sejuani Jax, so I think Bro are just hoping to get through the early stages without suffering too much.
Yeah, it feels like a weathering of the storm, perhaps. As you can see, T1 able to get that shove, gets the crash, now grab themselves some vision where they would like. I think as far as being able to attack somewhere on the map, though, I think that Umpty will be able to set up shop somewhere, and the setup is going to be there, right, from his laners. Like, Effort can go in with the Grand Entrance. You've got Karis, who, when he does hit that level 6, will have the Emperor's Divide to deliver opposition towards Umpty. This is a very classic Bro comp of if Umpty doesn't do stuff in early game, it's probably not going to be great. As BDD is on 4 wins in a row.
I like how they added that for context. They're like, yeah, this is
we saw this yesterday. He literally did this yesterday against Chovy.
To be fair, BDD is pretty good.
Yeah.
And specifically pretty good at Azir. So, you know, I think that's why we need the added context to basically say that, yeah, you know, if you're this good, you're pretty fine in the matchup. Also helps to be like the top team in the league.
Yeah, and honestly, like, LeBlanc is undefeated against not BDD's Azir.
True.
There we go.
And wait, let me check. It's actually not BDD this game on Azir either. So.
Although it was BDD's former protege in Karis, who did play behind BDD and actually became a much better Azir player as a result, because he wasn't known as an Azir guy. He was more the Lissandra guy coming out of Challenger.
Like that just becomes like the default. If you're behind BDD, you have to improve at Azir. You're like, hey, can we practice, like, you know, maybe some laning on some other chumps? He's like, nope. 100 reps of Azir. I gotta teach you how to be a pro.
Yep, there it goes. Henna not going to be allowed to go home. Kerry going to go back and play some souls.
Hello.
And Gumayushi is head by about a wave.
What?
As there is a couple of minions here, I guess, for Henna to
T1.
wrap up, but still going fantastically well for the Jinx. One of the oldest of the 200 years matchups. Just try to outrange the Aphelios was always the idea with the Jinx. Seems to be working out just fine. As T1 are going to walk over a plethora, for me, right now, as it turns out, a plethora of wards as they head towards this Drake that they should be able to take for free here. Does give Umpty some access to the jungle on the top side.
A lot of prio mid and bot basically means there's no way Bro can contest this. Umpty will just trade for some camps, and the aim for him is get a level 6 as soon as possible. Essentially, get that access to that ultimate. It's really going to be the game plan. And he's going to steal away some camps from Ona here. Should get this, and just have smite, so should be able to get the Gromp and get out if he wanted, but maybe he thinks he doesn't have enough time. And wants to back away. Not a huge prize in return for the dragon, but at least it's something.
Is it even going to have his Spire taken away? As Umpty able to grab the one near this Rift Herald, and I think that that is where Bro might try to find a neutral angle. Being able to get in there and take turrets earlier on into this composition is going to be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I also think just from like a denial perspective, because T1's composition opens up really well into a 1-3-1.
Oh yeah.
With the Long and the Jackson side lanes. So, you know, the sooner that T1 can open up the map, start taking turrets, especially break that mid-tier 1, the harder it is going to be for Brionne playing into that. And I think, you know, regardless of how much impact Brionne get from the Heralds themselves, denying them would be a massive difference maker.
Increased by
Kobe actually looking to go aggressive here. It looked a bit strange, but Carrier was on his way up, and Karis able to walk his way out. Kobe was possibly looking for a bit of a reset time anyway, as Henna finds a Gravitum onto Gumayushi.
I love that little zoom in, like, oh, something gonna happen? And it's like, no, it's just, you know, a little trade.
Yeah.
A little love tap.
Gumayushi actually winning out on the trade, as it turns out, in the end. Anyway, given the range of the rocket.
Hit by the...
Yeah, 2 Infernum autos, and then I am made to feel silly.
I feel like it's so hard to dodge. Like, the AoE that bounces out afterwards is so wide.
And it's annoying.
It's very obnoxious.
As Morgan is going to get stunned up here. Ult comes through from Zeus. Morgan just trying to walk this one out. Does flash in the end. Zeus not going to follow. Flash advantage now for the Jax. Level 7. As Morgan will at least be able to get himself a cannon, but this is looking dicey in the top lane.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a misread the cooldown from Zeus, because he didn't have his Leap Strike quite up again, which I think could have been what he was waiting for. Morgan flashing away there. Didn't have ult as well, which obviously would have meant he was a lot safer, able to disengage. So good angle found by Zeus, and you know, considering we talked up this Jax Sejuani, we've only really seen the Jax so far. Ona just, you know, picking up the dragon, nice of course, but not really done too much else other than that.
And Bro keeping it even when it comes to, oh, okay, never mind, Hook is going to land, there's the play, and Battle Dance. So never mind, F just going to be able to get out of there, but Carrier, his eye is in.
Oh, might look for something else here.
Great entrance, there's the flash hook, gets the flash out of Effort. I like that Effort waited to make sure it was going to hit, and it definitely was. And then the flash does come through. Plate goes down on the top side of the map, though, as T1 starting to find some of these advantages in the lanes. As Henna with red-white is somewhat formidable, and Ona comes around, has already got a lot of work done on this Rift Herald. Umpty wants nothing to do with it, as the barrel not going to be enough there. Ona kept us guessing for a few moments, but does have smite, so it is going to be secured. So Rift Herald and Dragon both taken here by T1.
Yeah, and I think honestly throwing down the Rift Herald mid, gonna have a lot of value, just getting some plates, thinning it out. Umpty looking though, potentially for Poby here. It's gonna be hard to pin down the
No way this is gankable, right?
Yeah. As Poby does now have the distortion on cooldown. 2-1. And in he goes. All right, Umpty, can we find it? There is the smite. Does go back to his distortion there, as Umpty not going to be able to find it. Poby Nice little movement there to make sure that he's not in impale range, but it's still going to be a decent trade for Karis.
Yeah, I think they were waiting for Poby to use another ability to lock him out of his ult distortion, and then he never did, so they just went for it, and he's able to outplay. Doesn't even burn the flash, so pretty positive there for Poby overall. The lane phase has been going fine. Obviously, going to have that Shiv soon, which really helps
Gale
out with
Force,
the
I
wave clear.
think.
Yeah, it's really nicely done.
Gale Force changed the item
because then you go back to your
combo
distortion,
to
you
get
all of the
Gale
value.
Force, that's why the items look like so different for me.
Good
That would
patience
be
there
very
from Bro.
Need to buy a
It would have
BF
been very
sword
embarrassing.
and
It does still mean that Poby's
what is
absolutely
the
fine
double
in the mid
blade
lane.
attack speed item.
And
A Zeal.
Morgan actually ahead in farm? Kind of crazy. But Zeus not behind, and he's the Jax.
Oh.
And now he's going to look for a nice little trade here towards the top side. Morgan realizes he's going the wrong direction, is going to be able to walk his way back. Lost chapter now done as Ona comes on over to secure the Spire, and Umpty don't like that. He wants to make sure that his Spires are always on his side. Not going to be able to do that for the next little while though.
Yeah, and both teams kind of hovering in setup for this dragon, trying to contest some vision. But right now it's Bro who have the priority, and it's actually Poby resetting for the Shiv, but is TPing back in, so looks like Bro just going to back away. They aren't looking to contest this right now. Obviously, if T1 do get that second dragon, could be very impactful, and so far the pace of the game has been pretty slow, so stacking up those neutrals will really help slip.
Okay, wait.
Gumyushi, that is going to send him home. That may mean that T1 cannot actually do too much about this dragon, although Gumyushi does still have his ultimate available, so can offer assistance from a distance. Didn't mean for that to rhyme.
Yeah, good job. Yeah, Herald throwing down mid. Karis is there to defend it, but Bro, with the chunk out from Henna onto Gumyushi, they're confident just to start up this dragon, and I think T1, they'll probably go for a steal here with the Thresh Lantern. Let's see if they can get it.
Oh no!
And in they go. That is going to be the secure from Umpty.
No chance.
A few little attempts, and you get. I guess you just don't really need to take too many risks here. And it is a Cloud Soul now. So with both teams having one Drake, the triple threat Cloud into Soul available for both teams.
They'd be so fast.
Oh, so fast.
And you know what's going to be great? Skarner with Cloud Soul. When you impale them, and go max 7.
Yeah.
Running back to your team.
It's even better with Gumyushi because he gets excited just from pressing the Super Mega Death Rocket.
True.
That's how it works, right?
And if he gets a kill as well, then he's really excited.
Really excited. Super Mega excited. Death Rocket. That's how it kind of goes. Zeus going to be...
Let me look at this.
less answerable as this game goes on. But right now, there are not really too many questions being asked, right? We're talking about answerable. Like, you need to be actually
oh my lord.
Especially on the side of Bro. T1, probably the team that does have a little bit more onus on them to get things happening, but even then, they win sides so hard that maybe they don't even need to worry, because in the late game, perhaps team fights are just not going to be what T1 needs to win.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, take a lot of orchestration, and it isn't the easiest win condition, despite everything.
True, yeah.
And also, you know, despite the fact that we have this Jax Sejuani in the top lane, we have this winning bot 2v2, nothing's really come from it. Like, Carrier traded flashes with effort, and then it's kind of just been nothing since, and they're both back up and available. So, considering we said that Bro's hope was to kind of weather the storm, they've weathered it pretty well. You know, they were in like a storm bunker.
Hi, toxic.
Morgan had just thrown a barrel, believed in his Everfrost. That could have been a dead Zeus there.
Very much so. And now he's getting collapsed on.
Yeah, flash does come through. Morgan not going to risk it.
No one's
against
dead yet.
Owner as Gumyushi is real quick. Umpty was terrified. He was so confused about what just happened there that he didn't press his R button.
He just wouldn't expect a Jinx to come running past him, so he just didn't know what to do with it.
And, okay, Glacial Prison comes down, and Poby is going to collect first blood.
Yo,
he just paid a visit to the top lane, and Owner had never left.
Yeah, good play. And obviously, you can just stick that LeBlanc up in the top side, opening up into sort of a 1-3-1 setup here with the Jinx mid. Does mean they will sacrifice this bot tier 1, though, and in return, they're going to try and pick up the Herald on the top side. So, positive for T1, all things considered, but does obviously allow Hedda to get a decent amount of gold on this Aphelios.
Yeah, we do have the turret traded, though. So first turret blood is going to be the real thing, but first blood, actually, goes over to T1. So they will be able to trade up, absolutely. And so now, with the mid-game kind of upon us, this is where I think T1 are going to be happy to start making some of these moves, getting some of these setups, because a couple of items for the LeBlanc makes
why always fight this
side lane
guy?
so frustrating. As Morgan just kind of gets chained, and then prison.
Yeah, just I think obviously he expected, oh, I've evaded the gank from Sejuani, I'm good, Jax is too low. But the fact that
Hey, Jason, you hear the LCK
casters, a bit more
casters.
respect need to be paid there. And now Herald in pocket for T1. We even saw the observers kind of zoom in on the mid tier 1 that had already been chunked out by the previous Herald.
Shit.
Expectation is we'll just see them taking that tower, and that will really allow the map to open up and, as you're saying, play into that 1-3-1 that they have in their composition.
Yep. And next Drake going to be coming up in 40 seconds time. This could be the first honest team fight between these two teams. 2,000 gold, the approximate lead for T1. A little bit lower than that right now. Still, I think Bro can certainly team fight very effectively with a composition like this. I think eyes are going to be drawn to Umpty. Where is that Impale going to go? Yeah. And Karis, can he land that big Emperor's
How
Divide?
to fight?
And there are a couple of ways to make it work as well. Like, you can rely on Umpty to get in there, find that ultimate, and then Emperor's Divide the person even further away, take them out of the fight, and then win from there. But I think it depends which target you're actually trying to lock down. Poby, very slippery. Zeus as well, going to be very slippery as Poby gets on top of effort here. Does take half of his health bar. Umpty in the vicinity. Owner over here as well. So the Drake is now live. Karis, on bottom side, I think knows exactly what Poby is doing, but Henna not really close to this one. That hook was fantastic from Carrier, but
sending a message,
come from it. Yeah,
you know, that he can land these. I think, you know, T1 doing a good job of controlling the area. There is that ward there that is slipped by their vision. And so Bro struggling to move in. I think obviously with this composition they have really good peeling backwards, so they want to be there on the objective first and foremost, and T1 are just not allowing that to happen. Could use the Herald mid as well to really solidify this pressure, and that tower is just going to be gone.
Yep, that's going to be taken out, and now T1 going to be able to go towards this Drake with a much longer mid lane for Bro to walk down if they do want to get there. This ward though, oh my goodness,
such a value.
Amount of value.
No.
Morgan is going to make his way in. So the Lord has entered the fray. And the Jax now moving up towards the rest of his team now as well. Umpty looking for a little bit. Not able to find too much though as Henna gets zapped.
And the wave just gets obliterated, which is, yeah, really a lot of counterplay there.
Yeah.
We do see T1 trying to set up for the pick, and again, that ward is going to time out soon, but it's done so much for them in terms of providing information.
Well, Umpty, if he does manage to find the enemy jungler, it's going to be decent. Umpty does have an extra charge on that one as Poby looks to find a little bit more aggression. It does get it there onto Henna. And Bro going to realize that they need to actually go for things. Hook going to find the middle there. 6 points for Carrier. And Morgan
Holy
gets
shit.
here towards the rest of his team. Zayas, not really close by, has teleport. Morgan does not. That's why he has to rotate over earlier.
This is big for Bro. They finally got
Bro.
position on the objective. This is what their goal was. And now they are getting harassed a bit, but
What
so
damage,
much
son.
threat with that ultimate.
Yeah.
Target gets too close.
Is looking for
Scammer.
now. The rest of the team getting to work on this Drake. He loses interest though, but into the pit now as Poby does need to be a little bit careful, but I think he's playing on the edge pretty nicely at this point in time. Should just be a smite fight as now the hook comes forward. There's the Glacial Prison onto Effort, but not exactly the priority target. As Effort, he's got the rack. The Graviton doing a little bit of work, but it's not a lot of damage. Effort has to get out of there, and T1's health bars are still massive. Bro have just been pushed out here as Effort does get back. Emperor's Divide is good defensively as Henna going to be okay
Morgan
for now.
needs to
Now
go
the red
in.
white guns do come in, and now he is scary. Gumayusi, not exactly full health, but still has a fair bit to work with. Running out of mana at this point in time.
Why did they run away though? Wait, what?
Still, they are going to back away, and that is first Cloud going over to Bro. The war of attrition won by OK Savings Bank Freon.
And you know what I actually want to shout out is the Rakan Qs.
Why did T1 run away? What? I thought they won the fight.
It actually made such a big difference because constantly Poby was looking for this harass. But the thing is with Rakan is you can see their effort. Qs a dragon, heals Karis up, Karis does get poked out, but it was like a constant theme in this fight just to stay with the Qs on the dragon. And we see here
they win fight, they run away.
For T1, they do chunk them out. Zeus tries to go for this big play, but Karis beautifully played to disengage. And then once again, both teams a little bit low on health, but Effort will just keep queuing the dragon once again, healing everyone up, making them a little bit healthier. And T1 just feel like they can't approach. A big factor was they had an initial Zeus flank.
No, it's boring, but suddenly got team fight, but then they don't fight.
And big shout-outs to Henna as well. Used Gale Force to get out of that as well. And so T1 felt even less confident because they didn't get the flash out of the affiliates.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, so he just holds on to all of his summoner spells, just has to use the item. And so Henna, once again, continuing to find himself some of these moments in so many of their more recent
Radiant
games.
Virtue for some reason.
And that gold lead still sitting at 2,000. Nothing really to worry about for Bro. You mentioned biding your time. Well, biding it they are. And now have a dragon advantage as well. That is a big buffer. We are going to be looking at a game where most likely 3 items will be picked up for both of these teams.
And you know,
that's where Bro looks good.
That is where they look good, and I really like the setup they've gone for, where they have the Gragas matching the LeBlanc and the Azir matching the Jax. Jax should never really pose much of a threat to an Azir. Can obviously just disengage with his dash, but also ult if it does get tricky. And the thing is, the thing with the LeBlanc is she will just whittle you down if the Azir is matching into her, constantly using the static shiv. The Gragas just sustains through it, so Bro can hold on like this, maybe not indefinitely. Definitely can for now, although they've actually opted to swap the Azir bot lane. Interesting.
Might have been because Morgan kind of got killed by Poby, and so just didn't like the idea. Poby is going to be able to get rid of this bottom turret. That will extend the advantage just a little bit more here for T1. And I think Bro really need to start getting around and start taking some of these turrets, figuring out a way to open up this map for themselves.
I think the mid-tier one's obviously going to be the massive one. It's so hard against a Jinx with a Thresh, because obviously Jinx has that AoE on the rockets, and Thresh is that safety net that makes it very hard to find like an engage. And realistically, like as much as there are tools for the side of Brion, Thresh is pretty good at answering a lot of them. You know, if Rakan does try to go in, you can obviously flay away, you can Lantern. Umti has to do so much work to close distance, so it's going to be hard for Bro to really accelerate the pace of this game, but that feels very okay, Bro. You know, just playing it cool, playing it simple.
Okay, man, Bro, maybe.
You could go as far.
Yeah, okay, savings bank, Bro.
Man.
Brion. Would agree. Baron is now spawned. It's been up for about 3 minutes' time. And T1, it does feel like T1 has this game where they want it at this point in time. We haven't really seen the same floundering that we have seen in some of their other ones. This is looking much better, I think, but it is still slow. And Bro are still scaling, you know? But Bro often have that vibe of we're scaling until our Nexus explodes. And that is not necessarily what we want to see. They still need to pull the trigger at some point. Karis right now, 2 items completed. 2 items completed for Henna as well as Kraken Slayer is done.
You need me? You need the tank?
That initial spike has come in for this composition. And maybe there's going to be an opportunity to find that team fight that they're looking for, because T1, they have cleared a bunch of vision around this Baron. Zumpty looks for carrier, but there is a piggy that does come through as Gumayusi does have to get out of the way of the Gragas. That is Gale Force now on cooldown for the next little while.
Good opportunity found there with the roam from Morgan, and obviously the Lantern already on cooldown, so Gumayusi have to use the Gale Force. It won't be up for Dragon. I think it's a critical thing, even though it's obviously a much lower cooldown than any summoners. But that does mean that maybe Bro can look to capitalize on that. They're moving in pretty early on with 30 seconds to go, trying to get complete vision control over the area before T1 move their side laners in. You can see now Poby's got priority, and he is now trying to move over and start to wake up that harass.
Yeah, and
so I'm looking for before.
Cloud Rift actually works really well with Skarner. Having that movement speed advantage that you can get out of and then find that ultimate can really help, especially when his Spires are involved as well. Kind of cool to see that one. Zumpty moving back now. Ona taking
nice.
Losing out in this trade against Morgan.
Whoa, Morgan's winning.
Taking some control up here. Doesn't find that barrel though, as the Drake has been
Giga
started.
Giga chat.
Teleport to come through from Morgan. He'll get here first, but T1 not wanting to give this one up. This is soul point for Bro. It's going down so quickly though, and Ona not going to be able to get into the pit. That is secured. Now the prison comes through though. Effort just
easy money.
His way out though, and it's just fine. Morgan finds an Everfrost, and there is the Impale. The Piggy should go down, but no, the Lantern is going to keep him alive. Emperor's Divide used once again onto Zeus, but now it's Henna's turn to do the damage.
Yo,
the flash out
go!
from
Oh
Kobe,
shit!
they're just not dying. It's a double kill for Zeus. Now it's
oh
he's
man,
on the wrong side of the fight, and Bro have to give it up. Triple kill for the Jacks.
Huge team fight for T1, and honestly, Bro managed everything so well until it came to the fight itself, where they just got absolutely gapped by T1. Such good use.
They could play that better. They were winning until they weren't.
It looked like Bro was so close.
Oh man,
cleaning
they
up.
went in too far.
They never quite came through. They never could connect on the low health targets. And T1 end up coming through strong. They don't get the Dragon, but they'll be definitely happy with a Baron instead.
Yeah, and they will be able to collect it here. Some low health buzz, but that doesn't matter because there is no one in the area. Inner turret also going to go down. Let's have this fight one more time, and it was just the navigation of the health bars. Like, T1 had no interest in this Dragon.
Yeah, and they end up going for the ult onto Ona to try and burst him down. But he survives long enough to get the Lantern out again. And then you can see Effort goes in, trying to look at the damage. They disengage Zeus. He's getting so much value in here. Henna looking to try and capitalize. Umti overzealous, but gets hooked, and it just feels like constantly Bro see blood in the water, but they aren't able to solidify. And a bit of a mistake on the back end there.
Yeah, I'm not
to
sure.
say from Karis, went way too deep, but you know, this rotation of cooldowns, things like the Lantern, the counter-strike from the Jax, the distortion from the LeBlanc, means the target can look like they're, you know, close to death, but actually, if you chase them, it becomes significantly harder, and Bro's comp is a lot better at peeling backwards than it does at, like, running at the enemy team.
And that looks to be what their game plan is, right? You saw once again Karis using his Emperor's Divide purely on Zeus to get him off Henna, but then Henna's unable to actually do any damage, right? Yep. So you need to actually be able to get towards Gumayusi as well in these fights, because you saw it was just rocket after rocket after rocket, and not a lot of answer from Bro. And now T1 with this Baron looking to siege up this inner turret. The gold lead starting to get pretty ridiculous now as well. Yeah. The money starts to come through. Gumayusi taking a bit of damage as Henna does go forward with his Gale Force. They just back away.
I think what's frustrating is the fact that before, like, Morgan had chunked Zeus, which led to them rushing the Dragon. The setup was so good, and yet they opted in that fight.
All right, there's an aggressive Emperor's Divide onto Poby. Finds the Gragas ulti as well.
Oh!
Down. And they lock down Poby. They probably could have used some of those mechanics in the last team fight, but, you know, you'll take it when you can get it. Still, inner turret now going to be taken here on this top side, and T1 not really missing a beat.
Yeah, so it does mean the Baron push will be ended a minute early with them finding this pick here. So Poby just, again, looks for Morgan, tries to find the kill, so close to getting it, but kind of baited in there by the rotation. The problem is, despite this, it does stop the Baron push, but T1 got so much gold, and are now 8,000 gold ahead.
Another Dragon fight in 2 minutes.
It is kind of nutty. And I don't really want to say this because people like, you know, snappy, fast League of Legends where there's a lot that could happen. Bro have a 2 Drake buffer. So if they are able to hold on, as, you know, that is going to be a tall order. It's 8,000 gold now, the lead. T1 kind of feeling like they could just steamroll the enemy base. But if somehow Bro are just able to continue weathering, and it's going to be a while until, you know, there's an Elder.
that pick on a Poby was pretty big because they didn't break the base. Maybe with a bit more time, they could have broken Inhibitor and it would have gotten a little bit more difficult for Bro to hold on. But they still have all 3 inhibitor towers intact. They have a lot of wave clear. In theory, they could hold on. I think it's definitely the right call to give up this dragon, though.
Oh, yeah. I think a single cloud not really going to be the end of the world. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried that perhaps this could be a game that continues for quite some time. Next Baron should be what T1 can use to take a victory.
That's a big one.
As Karis does finish his Void Staff. I think so much of this game is going to hinge on what the next Emperor's Divide and Impale is going to look like, and whether or not Morgan can find a big task as well.
And you know, Umti's kind of just been using it on Ona, which I don't think is the best target, because Sejuani is pretty tanky.
Yeah.
Is kind of the way people phrase it. I think Zeus would be a much better target, because when you Impale him, you can't counter-strike, and a lot of his tankiness comes from being able to block those auto attacks, so yeah, that's probably the call in my opinion. A better target than just trying to kill a Sejuani. And, you know, bro, we're like, one Cloud Drake, unthinkable. We cannot give it up. We must fight this.
Well, it also does bring T1 over here for a team fight. Maybe that's what Bro are looking for. As Karis taking a lot of damage. Glacial Prison does come down. Umpty says he doesn't really care about it, but Morgan, he needs to be a little bit worried. Karis looking for Poby up on the back end as Morgan goes Golden Emperor's Divide. Once again, onto the Jax, who this time is going to be taken down. It's now Ona's turn. He gets body slammed. The flash out from Umpty, a double kill now as Henna's gone crazily far forward, but he is going to survive. Does use the flash this time in order to escape. T1 still on the offensive though, as it's Bro now with the lower health bars. This is Cloud Soul though, remember this is close to all of the marbles, the most important soul in the history of League of Legends.
Guma still playing so in front, you are not getting anything.
Allow one Cloud Drake to go over to T1. No, we are team fighting and we are winning.
And they are now
Cloud Soul.
So fast around the map.
Oh yeah.
You know, things like effort on the Rakar, I'm going to appreciate this quite a bit. But also, in terms of moving around...
It's called the quickness. Shouldn't it be called the zoominess now? Like a large,
I think
really
that's how
quickness?
We refer it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this fight,
nice.
Look how differently things go when they deal with the Jax. So Counter-Strike countered by the Emperor's Divide, and then they just ult him. And look how quickly he dies. Look how much better that is than ulting the Sejuani.
Yeah.
It works so much better. And as soon as they take out that front line, and this is how Bro want to play their comp, is deal with the dive who are coming towards you, deal with the front line, take them out, and then let your Azir and Aphelios just free hit. And it worked. So yeah, keep that up. Bro approaching this fight far better. They now have that Cloud Soul in hand, and they seem to be feeling very confident about their chances in a fight right now, because they're starting that Baron.
Yeah, and Umpty is going to be zooming as well on this Skarner. As my goodness, this Baron does not last very long whatsoever. Looking for Ona. Hook is going to get there, but Effort not going to get locked down. The prison does come through, and Effort grand exits to try and get himself out. Zayas gets into the back line, but it's not.
Oh!
The task is gorgeous.
Morgan is back, baby.
And T1, they lose their Jax yet again. Bro take the Baron. They've got the soul. It was 8,000 gold.
It was so much, and they've just brought it back. And you know what?
Damn,
you
son.
saw them turning away from that Baron. How fast they were. It's the difference maker.
Well, if they had you know, one of these worse souls like a Hextech or an Infernal, they wouldn't have been going nearly that fast.
Yeah, they've really accelerated in this game.
See what he did there. As Bro are they're leveling up during this game. These teams, it's like they've figured out, oh yes, this is exactly what we need to adjust for the next team fight. They are learning and they are improving. And they have found it. Look at that cast. This time the cast is playing gorgeously.
Hello.
They've decided that what they should do is one, instead the Sejuani, but also just kill the closest target.
I'm trying to close the PC sound.
Hyped up like, oh, let's try and run in, grab someone important.
My microphone picking up the PC sound, right?
If for us to hit, we hit them. If not, we run away.
Yeah,
and it's a good strategy. It honestly works out.
You don't hear the LCK
tester. Finally, this outer turret is going to fall, bro.
很小声，因为我看到我那个眼前还是青色，他们讲话。如果小声就应该 OK 了。
小声慢点，没有动静。
OK。
And now Zayas gets into the backline, but it's Morgan that stops the the onslaught. Karis is going to get here. The hook goes just wide. Morgan buys some time and some space, but that advantage that Bro had has just been destroyed.
Felt like they got a bit too close to the sun on that one.
Yeah.
Hubris was their downfall. A bit
Wait,
overconfident.
Morgan
now,
died how?
T1 don't have Baron themselves, so Karis should just be able to clear this wave up. But damage is being done to the base so far.
Oh
Yeah,
my
Gumushi
lord.
any sort of
Oh,
time with
Morgan. Oh, you need to flash,
come
bro.
out there as Umpty doesn't use his because he doesn't have it. Doesn't make sense. If Gumushi gets any time with any of these turrets and can hit them, he has a lot of range and does a lot of damage. 3 items have now been completed.
I think that's a valid statement to make. And here, just, you know, it's a fantastic hook here by Carrier, which doesn't immediately lead to something, but the Glacial Augment slow on the ground makes it hard to disengage. Effort tries to create space and gets taken out. And then Zeus, beautiful flank, but also Morgan doing a fantastic job of peeling there for Henna.
That could have been game, honestly.
Yeah, that
if
really
he doesn't get that body slam.
You know, Lord Morgan says, run,
Yes.
and I will cover for you.
Exactly. Fly, you fools. That's precisely it. He's a bit, it's a bit like Gandalf. Was Gandalf a bit of a lord? He had a lordly vibe.
I think so.
You
I
get
mean,
checked.
he's Sir Ian McKellen.
I mean, yeah.
I mean,
so
technically he's not.
he's a Seer, not a Lord.
Yeah. Still, you don't know.
Close enough.
I don't know enough about what lords are. I know you do.
Yeah. Let's not get into
from there, but I don't think we want to get into that
You know,
one.
if we wanted to have this conversation, we had about 20 minutes where not much has happened.
Yeah, that's true. So British politics probably not where we're going to go with T1 versus Bro. As
With Elder in a minute and a half, I don't think we have time.
Is it going to be the flip scenario? Perhaps that was on T1's minds this whole time. They're like, we will give them a Cloud Soul. We
Yeah,
will just
I
take
can
that
imagine
really cool dragon.
in draft, the coaches are like, okay, here's the strategy, and it's like a whole page of steps, and at the end, it's like, flip Elder and win.
Yeah, and
Oh.
just see how that one goes. Everfrost going to slow down Poby here as Effort
Oh.
finds the
My
line.
God.
All of the buddies turn up, and it's Effort's the one that's actually
Why is
able to
Poby
take
so
down
far up? What
the
the fuck?
kill as well. So they
No.
get the split pusher.
That was obviously good. It was a fantastic pick there. Really well predicted by Morgan, but it was also a little bit too soon because Poby's going to spawn when the Elder does, and he has TP. So we'll just be able to turn back up. But yeah, Morgan finding Poby here. And again, predicts the W back with the barrel, which I'm not sure was necessarily needed to confirm the kill, but still nice regardless. And now it does give Bro a lot of pressure on the map. They have 30 seconds to get position over Elder, but as I said, Poby, TP will be up. He will be back up in time for it.
He can fight for it, but they can't fight for control of the river. And I think that control of the river is going to be important here, especially when Umpty can just zoom out from this Cloud Rift and go extraordinarily quickly. He presses his Impale button. You are on the other side of the map, and you've just... that is how it goes. That is how fast this Lawnmower
Flank TP
does travel. As like you were talking about, in goes Poby.
Poby?
He's running pretty fast. They see the ward go down. And now, Bro are just wasting no time. They are not messing around. They just want to kill dragons. That is what they want to do. And they also want to kill Poby, who takes so much damage here. These flanks are getting more and more difficult for the LeBlanc, who has so much damage. But
they're just killing...
Him so far back. Oh, no,
they're just killing Owner, man.
Golden.
Oh!
That is going to deliver the kill over to Hannah as they find Zeus, but he finds the backline. Empress Divine and onto the Jax this time.
Wow, Effort lives that.
Is still alive. Effort maybe not so lucky as Karis dives on top of Poby. He's got...
Oh, shit.
Oh! Poby's dead.
Light Vigil is going to come through as well, and now T1. They only have 3
Guma, you
members
see, it's
still
up
alive, and
up
not one
to you
of them
now.
Is a jungler. The Flame Chompers come through, but Umpty's not going to land on top of them. Gumusi's still full health, but can he actually do anything? Henna tries to take matters into his own hands.
Oh, why are you going back?
Oh, Henna, oh shit.
Get themselves in here. Bro are going to be able to take themselves.
They cannot. Guma cannot.
As well, Exodia is on the table, and in game number 1,
Not
close
wrong.
to 40 minutes. It could be Bro marching up the mid lane yet again.
You know, Believers are patient, and they are being rewarded right now. The Elder in pocket, beautifully navigated.
Aphelios and Azir easy Baron.
To do? Well, I mean, that is a lot of buffs. That is a lot of extra stats, you know, but even if you collect all of your buffs, sometimes you still can't kill the boss, even though it's considered quite easy.
Here's the thing, when you have Elder, what you want to do, you want to fight. and sometimes the enemy team will run away, but have Cloud Soul.
Oh,
which
running away does get more difficult.
Yeah.
Cloud Soul,
and I think
that is true.
The thing that's changed now is this Sejuani doesn't feel nearly as tanky with the itemization that's come in. So the ult just deletes Owner here.
Morgan! He finds it again. Another body slam on the Leap Strike King Jack.
He's been playing it so well. Honestly, Bro's team fighting in this game, there was that one exception for the most part. It's been so exceptional. Karis going so confidently over the wall solo to take out Hobie. And then here, Gumusi
Hobie cannot lah.
And the Bro leaders on the edge of their
you got see Faker play LeBlanc there? Huh? Faker got play LeBlanc? Only Showmaker playing right now.
On this Elder as well. This inner turret should go down, but T1, everyone is back up and alive again. They just need to wait this 1 minute of Elder before they go for any sort of fight and see whether they can kill the minions bearing down on the map.
There is a lot of wave clear.
502 movement speed for the Aphelios.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's rather a decent amount. I think that's the thing that, you know, obviously everyone thinks...
No, it's so tank.
Massive 15% is very substantial when it comes to trying to jump on top of an AD carry.
He 3-shot the tower, I think.
30 seconds, T1 need to hold on. I don't think Bro can end in that time. But if they find a pick, maybe they'll be able to do it.
Oh boy.
To see as Hobie still trying to find that poke damage.
I mean, if they lose this,
that is the identity of the champion.
Yeah, I think lose the
They are just playing this one by the numbers. Second inhibitor is going to fall.
12 seconds.
And these Qs that connect, man, Owner is a tank. But you wouldn't really know. That was through Frost Armor as well as Umpty gets hooked.
4 seconds.
Not feeling like a death sentence, but like you were saying, it's now time that T1 could go for it. And
Rakan again. Always ulti the Rakan.
The quick jack comes down.
Oh!
He's just charmed up and destroyed.
Hook and dead.
Turret's now the only thing standing between
Oh my god, the tower.
and a game 1 victory. And Hannah says goodbye to your health bars as the Moonlight Vigil comes down. Morgan.
Oh, Morgan!
And they wipe the
Woo!
Okay.
This is gonna be it. Bro will take game number 1.
Flash E or E flash.
They came back from an 8,000 gold deficit.
And you know why? Cloud Soul.
Oh.
Does it all.
Oh, that orange color t-shirt looks ass.
Actually, whenever I have the argument again about the best soul in the universe,
I didn't see that.
I just replay this game. And then everyone will know.
I thought their color is
okay, saving
what is it,
Bank
light
Breon.
blue,
They
green,
just
green, blue.
refused to say no.
Yeah, I mean, that was just phenomenal play, if I gotta be honest.
Mid gap.
My POG.
Mid
It's
gap.
a tough one.
Mid
A
gap.
couple of good people.
I think it's top gap.
It's
I think
the
it has
Lord.
to be.
It has to be the
I think it
Lord.
has to be. I mean,
I think Hannah
那个就是要跳进来，或者创你用这
but
创
you get
走
caught
的。
by that one helps us a little bit. But
We need
either
to
way, I
see
think
it,
all
Dylan.
5 members working so well together. And the
For what?
display in team fights, the understanding of the Bro
I want to see if they
composition
can
and what
win.
needed to do. Yes, there was a couple of rough fights where they didn't quite kill a Sejuani. But from then on, it's like they evolved over the course of the game. They didn't overstep. And they managed just to out-team fight T1, which, yes, they've looked...
What?
recently,
Match
so
made
that's
game
usually
on
T1
me,
just get everyone.
Yeah, and the thing
Ayo.
that's, like, it goes back to what we were saying before, where each team fight looked like they took one bit of feedback from the previous team fight and said, oh, let's do this better. Let's do this a little bit better. And it just worked. You could see how the pieces started to fall into place when they made these slight adjustments to how they navigated these fights. And that, to me, is
The
most
Mira,
impressive. And we
Gwen
have
last
confirmation
Nafiri,
that T1
or have-
cannot confirm
haven't
playoffs
buy the
today.
Nafiri.
They needed a 2-0 against Bro, and then things to go right in the next series for that one to happen. But they can still...
The AD loh. Wadah. Hey, nah. Hey.
Oh. Dun, 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 dun.
Hey, fuck you, man.
Where is this?
얘들아 거기 가봐 장로 7초 괜찮아 형안 봐줄게 라인 나면 끝나 야 장로는 끝났어 괜찮아 계속 잭스 마킹 포지션 중 얘들 걸어야 돼 나 잭스 볼게 잭스 볼게
Okay, nice.
라인 나와 다음 라인 안 해 바텀 라인 다음 바텀 라인 그래 빠졌어 내제 노공이야 바로 이거 미드 쪽으로 끝내자 야 이번에 박자 방금 이겨 생각해 내가 안무빙 해줄게 상호야 방금 안무빙해 터졌어 나 르블랑 좀 마킹 해줄게 끝내 토스 한번 돼 얘들아 토스 잡아 끝 쉽지 않았다 잘 받았다
Oh no, it's the copyright. Okay. Wait, I need to farm for my thing. Not bronze. Yeah. Okay. Where is? What does she need? How much does she need again?
和をもって尊しとなす。諸悪退散。敵データ収集完了。捕獲マーク起動。愉快な反撃の時間
The
です。
game sound it doesn't pick up.
おや
Are you lagging?
Oh yeah, signing.
この曲はあんたにもっと客をもてなさないと。
Many people play Naafiri.
己を解き放つ反抗。平等霊落。まだ立ち上がりますか。乗ってる。いいのか。和をもっては。千の珍奇をもって一心同期。敵データ収集完了。捕獲マーク起動。愉快な反撃の時間です。己を解き放つ順反抗。平等霊落。一気に片付けましょう。もっと。ふん。盛り上がってるじゃん敵データ収集完了。捕獲マーク起動。愉快な反撃の時間です。一気に片付けましょう。諸悪退散。敵ターゲットを確認。おや
大丈夫、問題はない。お別れのもうじゃ再臨。
こっからが本番だよ。乗ってる。反抗平等霊落。客をもてなさないと。おやもっと。敵データ収集。捕獲マーク起動。愉快な反撃の時間です。一気に片付けましょう。はっ千の珍奇を一心同期。己を解き放つ準備を。反抗平等霊落。こちら側が優勢です。おや乗ってる。
Target. Glacier Augment. What?
和をもって尊しとなす。諸悪退散。支援開始いたします。おや捕獲マーク起動。愉快な反撃の時間です。
大丈夫、問題はない。己を解き放つ順反抗、平等、霊落。
一気に片付けましょう。
ナフィリート
かよ叫ん。
すっきりした。
もうじゃ再臨。
客をもてなさないと。
Hmm.
乗ってる。こちら側が優勢です。おや、
食材の時だ。
Stop hitting me.
敵ターゲットを確まだ立ち上がりますか。この曲は敵データ収集完了。捕獲マーク起動。愉快な反撃の時間です。
食材の時だ。
一気に片付けましょう。支援開始いたします。おや、
乗ってる。
一気に片付けましょう。
Wait.
What the fuck
Hello and
啦？
welcome to the space after that game number 1 between T1 and Bro, which Bro was able to take down relatively simply, although it did take quite a while. I'm Valdez, with me is Hooney and Wolf. And guys, what do you think about that game and potentially the draft?
I mean, I just felt like the whole time Bro was in control, even though when they were like 5,000 gold behind, you just knew they were being more decisive on the Drakes. You knew they were actually controlling the team fights, and despite some lane mistakes, some lane errors, and a massive lead for T1, it just wasn't enough.
Hell?
Yeah, I mean, if you see the draft, I think from T1, I think it was pretty fine. They first picked LeBlanc and still also got the 2-3 Sejuani Jax combo, and then they had answer with the Azir Gragas, but wasn't really, you know, that's why the only game that T1 actually had an edge on it, they had a favor, like they were 8k ahead. It's just the
I'm going to talk about LeBlanc a little bit more because this right now, 2-7 in round 2, sitting around just above 33% win rate overall this season. Feels like a really strong bait pick right now. Teams are first picking it on blue side.
Oh, okay.
Having an impact in these games the same way picks do massive damage, can also be to both in-game or the Emperor's Divide. So you see it's a really hard game for Owner to play. He's always trying to make something happen and either instantly getting deleted or has to, you know, leave the fight immediately. So it always felt like it was a 5v4, especially with Poby not able to actually get that impactful damage.
Yeah, I was definitely a bit surprised at how T1 were very discombobulated rather in their team fights, going in, you know, one by one. Zeus is teleporting in a little bit late. He just gets pushed out. There's no synchronization with the Sejuani ultimates and stuff like that. So we can go straight into highlight number 2, which ended up going the way of Bro. And this was after they won many Drake fights that looked just like the first highlight.
Yeah, I mean, this is the already Brion has, okay, Bro has a Cloud Soul, the Scanner can zoom with the ulti and the make sure the Sejuani, it was 100% dead, and it's just like keep body slamming with the, just keep marking the Jax. It was pretty good, and just eyes on Kyrus, he just put million damage, and this is what what Wolf actually just kind of mentioned it earlier. He does so much damage, like not expected, and it's just like Poby just get die, and it's like it's was so one-sided.
Effort also, in so many of these fights, sacrifices himself to keep the enemy backline at bay. Really just Guma straight up. And Guma is forced to kind of back away. Even though he's Jinx's longer range than the Aphelios, the Azir is doing so much damage in these fights.
There's
another, always zoned
another guy
away.
named
Every time we saw Zeus engage or attempt to engage, it felt like he was just like losing his patience. Like, gotta go in. I'm going in for the Counter-Strike engage. And he just gets knocked out by Karas. This fight, many other fights throughout the game, and even though the Jax was super far ahead, couldn't get the side lane pressure done, couldn't actually engage in team fights. The Sejuani looked invisible. Bro, just super patient and using their patient energy to actually drain T1 out of the game.
Yeah, and T1 never really able to push their advantages. Let's see who on the side of Bro, though, does pick up the POG here for game number 1. As it will be Karis this time around. His Azir was actually fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not Karis, the 100% is kind of robbed. You know, like, we were kind of considering the Morgan kind of turning back into play, but, you know, the early game was kind of too poor. Like, all the middle, the scrimmage, like, wasn't feeling really good. Like, the Karis almost perfect. Like, every single time his ulti was able to boost the Jax away and then next like so one-sided.
He was just so patient. Like, he always waited until the perfect moment to actually use his ultimate, whereas a lot of other teams would just try to hard force. First, always got insane value out of it, and he just said T1 will eventually come to us. We have the better setup on all of these drakes. I think that was a huge problem with T1's setup. And engage across the agency. Might be some umpty boats in there because with Cloud Skarner, he made a huge impact in this game as well.
Press R, you know, Morgan gets the vote from the caster desk as is, you know, makes sense. Atlas without arrows, Morgan, he was doing a good job, right? He was actually doing a good job for the second half of the game.
Yeah, I mean, one vote deserve.
Yeah. Just the one.
Good turn on.
Just the one. But, you know, I'm glad he gets some representation there at least, so. You know, T1 in a rough spot. They'll move over to the blue side here for the second game. Do you feel like we're going to see some more LeBlanc picks or what do you think he wants to change?
I'd like to see LeBlanc moved away from. I mean, even putting Kobe on his ear feels like a pick that's pretty easy to play right now in this meta, even though he's, you know, arguably your weaker player. His player, I think he can still make a higher impact with that pick than he can on the LeBlanc and has a lot of
Yeah, I mean, if they do pick a LeBlanc, they have to put the pressures like until the exit next explode it. Like, they have to execute the rail. I mean, this is the thing, like, you can make one mistake with the LeBlanc with right now, with especially static shift, like just static shift item like doesn't give you the later on the value. So I think that's the right now why do actually the static shift the champions are kind of losing pretty bad.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, we're here on the space giving our thoughts. Let's go back to the casters for game number 2.
Ooh. Thank you so much, gentlemen, and huge shout out to Karis. He did do massive boom damage, but if it wasn't for Morgan's one body slam, we would have been giving POG to a T1 player. So, you know,
yeah, I like the spread.
Dies with sums up and ult up.
I like the
spread, but then wins the game.
True. I like the spread though. There were some honorable mentions, but yeah, Karis did a lot of work in all those fights, and the shuffles, the Empress Divide, we're pretty perfect throughout. Draft, I think I agree that Desk has to change, and you know, Hooney's point with the static shift LeBlanc.
Yeah.
Static shift LeBlanc works when you have like the static shift as an extra item, as in you're so far ahead, you have static shift, plus you have like the same or more items than your opponent, and if you, as I said, miss out on the momentum at any point, it kind of just falls on its face. T1 opting to not ban the Kai'Sa and banning the Azir instead. Will they opt to first pick the Kai'Sa? That is the question.
If they first pick the Kai'Sa, it means they're not first picking LeBlanc, which I think is an absolutely fantastic
double. Oh my!
Baby. Okay, that is a choice that we so made.
That is a decision you can do.
Yeah,
you know, it was not the LeBlanc that was the problem. with the Azir.
敵データ収集捕獲マーク
There
と
we
愉
go.
快な反撃の時
What
間
was
です
perfect, it just happened that they had an Azir who was
勝負開始だ
more
こ
perfect.
ちら側が優勢です
Yeah, well, we'll see what Bro want to do. They opt not to go towards the Kai'Sa, they go for the Aphelios once again in this
盛り上
situation.
がってるじゃん乗ってる
Go for the Maokai for Umti
客をもて
here.
なさないと
That is an odd one. Maybe anticipating this.
来た敵ターゲットを確認おや
It's a lock in. This should be happening now. Means that,
輪を持って支援開始いたしますおや
Sejuani is going to continue to just stay up and available, but it's Vi that Owner is going to opt into instead. Obi locking away the Kai'Sa for Gumayushi. Karis? Oh man, that would be his old favorite once again.
Whenever we see Maokai, I'm always tending towards it being Jace. That combo is just very common. I think that's why they went for the Maokai on that first rotation, because they were planning for the Maokai Jace, but obviously Jace doesn't get picked away. Means they can match some of the poke of the Kai'Sa.
Hello, motherfucker.
Pretty similarly to how they played the previous one, where they're kind of, standing back. They want T1 to run into them, but T1 with the Kai'Sa have some better poke options, I'd say, because really the LeBlanc just wasn't quite cutting it solo in terms of the poke provided.
Yeah, no, I would agree. Gives them some hard engage here from Owner's Vi as well. Definitely a bit more straightforward as well. I think it took a little bit of finesse to win out with T1's comp
Yeah, and I'm going to be
last
real.
game.
With the current state of T1, I would be personally drafting like the least finesse comp going. I'd be like, what is, when you have like the Clash comp, when you have like Malphite, Misfortune, Leona, Amumu, those are the sort of comps I would be going for right now.
Just build the press R.
Yep, everyone press R at the same time. I do actually love the Rakan ban from T1, because not only is obviously a good pick for effort, but just the sustain from the Qs was so impactful, I felt like in those longer, drawn-out setups. Easy to ignore, but T1 recognizing it was something problematic. And now Renekton locked in for Morgan. Obviously a ult as well.
Exactly.
Renekton.
Classic. Quite a few picks that Zayas can head towards if you would like to, as Rel being considered somewhat dangerous into what we've mentioned already. Efforts, Alistair is certainly something to be respected, but take the lane duo instead. Kai'Sa Rel has been pretty on the considerations. The 1v1 even early as Ornn versus Renekton. He's just very, very good at this champion. So you can understand why he's considering it and will lock that one in.
My problem with it is if we see the game go similarly, as much as Ornn is great in the later stages, you only really have the Kai'Sa as like a true, honest carry. And the LeBlanc will fall off.
And the problem is as well, is that T1 are probably incentivized to head towards some physical damage on the Kai'Sa, and that means you don't have just got LeBlanc again. And that didn't quite work. As Alistair, the understandable lock-in deny Ornn sometimes as well, if Bella's breath is not used exactly at the right time to deny the ram.
Honestly, that's one of the things I love about Alistair is obviously he can do a decent job at setting up games. He's got like backup to layer it, He's not got, obviously got as much lockdown as the likes of Rakan or Leona. But also, I think he's fantastic at playing bounce. If anyone's trying to approach, trying to be aggressive, you can really just make life difficult for the guy, for the Ornn and the Rel as well. And I personally wasn't too happy about the B1.
No, it's putting
testing the fate.
It is testing the fate, absolutely. And the thing is, it's hard to look at that and be that confident.
And
we just saw it lose.
I think a lot of T1 fans will be like, if they win, they'll think LeBlanc wasn't so maybe they should lose.
Yeah.
So they learn.
I feel like we had this problem yesterday as well. But I don't want to think about it. It was the Kwandong victory in that game against Nongshim. But I digress. Let's have a look at the adaptation and see whether T1 are going to be able to utilize it to pick up a victory. Kai'Sa has been very, very strong. Kai'Sa Rel, also very strong. Zayas is fantastic on, but they're up against the Bros with Umpty on the tree and Karis on the Jace. this time around. It's Morgan's Renekton as well. Anything can happen as we jump over the rift for game number 2.
敵データ収集捕獲マーク起動愉快な反撃の時間です
Okay. Brion, you know, the fans getting a little bit loud here in Lord Park as Effort going to be donning Wolf's suit in the SKT colors. Once again, we have... Ooh, is it also... It could be Marin skin as well for Morgan on the top side of the map. It could be double SKT skinning. That should be cool, because that would be 3 if they've utilized throughout today. We're gonna... No, it's Lego. Morgan is always a Lego Renekton guy.
Oh, it's
yeah, it's Lego yellow for him.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I can see.
I respect it. I'm a big fan. So,
yeah, it's pretty cool.
捕獲マーク起動愉快な反撃の時間です
Sets ago.
Yeah. That's that, isn't it? What's the other thing it has?
Elderwood?
Elderwood, that's it, yeah. Yeah, feels like almost like the go-to standard. I think because you only had one skin for such a long time.
Yeah.
League of Legends players, anything, are creatures of habit.
Barrel is back out to use skins on Leona. Very sad. Carrying Gamishi going to give a little bit of Alicia there. Vi. Pretty happy. The pass is pretty good. That one.
Yeah, and you know, I expect the pressure to be in the favor of T1 early in the bot lane, but we saw that last game and didn't really amount to it.
That's a crash down. Not going to get the CC onto Henna though, who immediately throws damage back to Yushi. Tell you what, Henna has been a real success story.
I think part of the problem is because Kai'Sa came in a meta as T1's problems occurred.
Going to immediately get out of here. Yeah, no, I think you might be right. The Kai'Sa meta sort of started as soon as Faker left.
In general, I think it's...
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot more issues than just the Kai'Sa, to be honest, for T1 at this point in time. And
somebody has...
When they can sort things out,
Samira, new
back on track. Now, difficult. But bro, I mean, this is the thing, right? We're talking about, you know, game 1 and Pro 1, things like that. They were still down 8,000 gold, and they just took game 1 from both D+ and Upperlight Esports back to back. Yep. Game 1 is their territory. Best of 1s, Bro would be first place in the LCK. But it's best of 3s. You have to keep it up for the entirety of the series. Ona making a rotation over here. He's going to be spotted by Umti.
Yeah, Umti doing a good job using the saplings just to spot Ona out. Brought Morgan over to make sure he can secure the red.
Imagine if he, like, stole it away. I almost thought that he was going to.
Little Lizard was jumping.
Yeah, I know.
Going for it.
Get a little bit worried when Trico's going ballistic, but it doesn't actually happen. Ona going to get to work on the Rift Scuttler. Bottom lane one as well should be available here for the Vi if Ona would like, but is going to tend to his top side first.
And it's
kind of like Umti should be able to get over there.
Once again, we have like Prio, mid and bot for T1. Top lane, obviously Morgan doing pretty good in this matchup. Renekton going to have that pressure early, but ultimately I expect things to start somewhat similarly in this game, with Ona setting the pace, looking to secure the neutrals. Particularly the early Mountain Dragon, definitely a nice one to pick up with those resistances coming in quite well later on.
And I'm a bit interested, right? Because we saw yesterday, especially Nongshim, rely on Azir in so many of these team fights. Bro was that team for a really long time, but Karis sort of got sent down to Challenger for a little bit. That's why we had Ivory this season. And that was after some back-to-back-to-back Azir games that didn't go so well for Karis. I don't think that the Azir is necessarily a crutch for him like it used to be. And so we'll have to see whether this Jace performance is going to be better, as Morgan brings a large amount of minions towards Zeus' turret. Knock-up, not going to connect there as the Lord just being patient.
Yep.
Sidestepping that one.
Gets a Demolish proc. Starting to get some work done on the tower. And yeah, I think the Azir works so fantastically into what T1 had before with the Sejuani Jax, but I think in this game there's not nearly as much of that dive that you need the Azir to prevent. Obviously, there is like the Vi, the Kai'Sa, and the Ral, but you have Maokai, you have Alistair. You can do a pretty good job of dealing with those.
I think that a lot of this is going to be on effort and how he plays out these later team fights. If it's Bro that are going to be hard forcing, I don't like that as much. I think using this Alistair as a lot more disengage is going to be really, really strong for Bro. Just press your R button on your Maokai, land some shock blasts, you know?
Yep, and Effort can just headbutt everyone away.
Yeah.
It's that easy, which he's kind of posturing for here. You can see Bro aren't taking any risks in the bot lane 2v2 right now. Once again, this might be a Weather the Storm angle.
Is there Gathering Storm taken by any of these Bro players? That's what we really need to ask.
Well, no one has Sorcery apart from Umpty, and I'm pretty sure he didn't take Gathering Storm Maokai. That would be very Chad if he did.
It would be.
But I'm pretty sure that he didn't, as much as I wish that he had.
Well, Owner is going to steal away the Croc Camp, and Umpty going to have to deal with the dregs that are left up and available. Crocodile moving down, Karis tidying up the wave. 3 minions in the lead for Poby, whose laning phase has been fine, to be honest. Like, for Poby, it feels like it is just the last couple of team fights in a game where he will make that one big mistake. And kind of that's been the tragedy of Poby.
It's kind of the clutch factor.
Yeah.
You know, it's just not there.
Or it's the opposite.
The
anti-clutch factor.
Oh, that's rough. And yeah, I mean, I feel like that's the thing, is that in the later game situations, a lot of rookie players.
5 mid laner from the secondary LCK league. And then you expect him to perform on this team.
Well, I'm not sure T1 did.
It's a real tough one.
Some people expected him. But,
yeah, and like if you've been watching Challenger, like I imagine a few of you have been, then you would understand the direness of the situation. But I think, you know, if you're not necessarily paying as much attention, you hear a lot of people talk about how so many players have come up through the T1 system. They have brought up some amazing talent, you know, Berserker that's now gone overseas. One of these examples, you can see all of the T1 players and a lot of the success they've had is through that system. And so maybe you think to yourself, oh, well then if they get a new player, then it'll be fine. It's not so much that.
I think usually they plan a bit further in advance when they're going to move the player up, you know.
Yeah.
Hard to plan for these situations. Do you see Dragon picked up by T1 there? Obviously the mid-bot prio kind of means they can start doing this again. And Chemtech Dragon second, which is phenomenal.
That means we could have another Cloud Soul.
And it means we won't have Chemtech Soul, the worst one in the game. Daily reminder, Chemtech Soul is really bad.
It is really bad. And just a daily reminder to you to keep concentrating. I'm really impressed by what you put forward so far today. You got to stay vigilant. You got to keep it up. Whenever there is a Chemtech Soul anywhere, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, it's Orcs' fault. As Bramble Smash going to come through. Seasoned Assist comes down, though. Umpty pretty tanky right now, and he has Phase Rush, so he's just going to book it.
He did rush with a lot of phases.
Yeah, Nimbus Cloak as well, and so he's just running real fast after that flash. Carrier going to crash down and then crash out of the whole situation.
I'm going to be honest, I don't think Umpty actually had the flash there.
No, I don't think so either.
I think he could have turned it, because they'd kind of used everything, and he was still very healthy.
Yeah, so he had the Giant's belt, man. That's a lot of health.
Yeah, that's a big belt.
Yeah. He wasn't going to hurt his back. No, that one for sure.
Proper form.
As Morgan's going to spot Owner. And Owner's not going to be able to set up anything tricky.
That's
in
last game.
Herald.
I feel like Morgan has a tendency to like walk really deep into the lane, which works well for scouting out people who are like trying to sneak in. Not so good if someone's already in the lane.
Yeah, true. As Karis is going to get Mimic chained. Effort moves on over. We'll be able to deliver a little bit of extra gold. 150. Thank you very much. For both of them. Hex Flash gets him into this brush now. As Carrier was already there. And Effort says, it's all right, I'm going to leave. And so it's a bit of a 2v2. T1 still just pushing waves in. And Karis not wanting to bite off more than he can chew. He's already a little bit low on health. This poke kind of working out from Poby in this early stage as Morgan has a very large minion wave heading towards the turret.
Yeah, with Shiv picked up now, double Shiv as well for T1. They should just have permanent prio and bottom mid. It's going to be really hard to contest. And that's where they can start to push in like they are now, getting some deeper vision, playing aggressively. and making it quite difficult for Bro to match up. You know, Umti's opening up through the jungle, and he's going to try and obviously defend his laners, but opportunities to use the Herald in pocket are going to be quite hard to find if you never have a wave.
Yeah, that will be a difficulty. You see now, the minion wave conga line is quite a ways away from this mid lane.
Speaking of wave clear,
yeah,
Zeus is Sunfire.
Oh my goodness, there is just too much.
Waves are just getting obliterated left, right, and center.
It's not very fair. Not very fair at all. So let's see where Shelly does end up going. Probably going to park in that mid lane. They could just force it by pushing a lot of people over. As Gore Drinker is now done for Morgan. Does manage to at least teleport onto the enemy. That was very, very nicely done. You could see that Jonas Strong was also waiting for that one, seeing whether or not it was going to come through, and it did.
I think that was probably a make or break moment in the top lap matchup.
Wow.
I think honestly, if Zeus had missed that, might have just meant loss completely.
It's at least emotional victory, which I think is half the battle.
Yeah.
Especially in top lane.
Maybe even more in top lane, honestly.
True. As T1 are going to look for Karis. I think Karis might be dead, guys. This dive is going to be successful. First blood goes over to Poby. And now 2 plates alongside the kill onto Karis. Really nicely done here from T1. That is going to put even further of a dampener onto the unleashing of Shelly.
Yeah, and this is kind of the thing, when you have that much vision in the enemy jungle, permanent prio, and your jungler support can just play around aggressively like that, very hard to counteract. And I'm going to be real, there is nothing Karis could do really in this situation. No. There were some question mark pings, there were suspicions, but once you get hit by the initial CC, you don't get to play the game.
And we could see that the outcome was that he couldn't play the game. And the good thing is he didn't use his flash, because he was definitely dead, and so holds on to that one. Felt his breath coming through here on this top side from Zeus, but right now you can see Morgan with his Gore Drinker now completed, feeling a little bit better in this matchup, even if the Sunfire Cape value should be pretty high. As Chain is going to connect there as Karis going to get stabbed a little, but effort is here. Umpty's going to throw down the Rift Herald. And 3v3 in this mid lane with a fair few buttons now on cooldown. And it looks like they will be able to get themselves a charge. Poby coming on over, does get a little bit of a static shiv poke down. Karis is going to break the chains.
You know, that was really nice. They get it in 30 seconds before the plates despawn. They managed to just get that second plate. And they played well to defend the Herald. With no wave, sometimes you put the Herald down and the enemy team CCs it and kills it before it charges. So Bro doing a pretty good job of securing that, but now they're looking for a reset for Karis. Dragon has already spawned, so I think T1 might just take this one.
I'm watching T1.
Able to. Morgan is rotating down though, and Zeus doesn't have teleport, so
that's the difference maker.
Not going to happen.
I saw them a little bit.
Even though there is some vision here for T1, they're not going to be able to do it.
Still their draft game 1 was ass. No wonder they lost. I saw them. It's always been drafting.
They still lost.
I wouldn't lose sleep over it.
Yeah, I think it's big for
you
Bro,
see
though,
their draft?
the 2 dragons on the side of T1, because they could have had a very quick Cloud Soul.
I mean, before I went for lunch, they seemed okay, and then they still lost.
Negated
oh
by
my
some
What? They did not look okay.
Game defining.
Game defining.
They were losing the fights because Bro was doing stupid shit.
Got to crush a wave.
Bro should not have lost any of the fights, actually.
That's a bit rude, isn't it? This goes over and steals his stuff. Christmas tree moving down here towards his bottom side, and the Nature's
Why is Poby trying so hard to be faker? He's playing all fakers champions. He plays Azir, he plays LeBlanc, he plays Ahri.
Now Karis is going to move
what do you want him to play? Those are all the mid champions, man.
They do get Gumayushi. Poby's limping away, and I don't think Carrier is making it out of this one alive. It's 2 kills.
He even sucks on Annie.
If you say he play Annie, he's always a faker champion too. What do you want?
As well as it did for T1, I thought that was going to be an absolute disaster.
Yeah, it was looking like that from the beginning. I agree.
I mean, everyone plays Annie, like, it's not just...
Almost all the mids play the same shit except Zeka.
Get the layering. Henna loses all the health in this situation.
Zeka Silas.
And it felt like
he
was a little bit late to get the CC down. I think he was trying to avoid the big clump of AoE damage.
Yeah, almost everyone plays those really control mages mid.
To counteract that. Scrappy, I'll say that one was. But a confident play from T1 that goes reasonably okay. I see that. How I'd surmise it.
Yeah, I go with
now owner engages okay.
It does mean that the gold is now just a
This
little
team
bit
flash
in favor
out
of
team.
Bro. They
This
do
team
collect
com is okay for
themselves the
T1.
break.
This one
But
looks
as the
fine.
dust settles,
Like last game, LeBlanc looks like he doesn't belong, you know. Last
He's
game,
been doing a lot of
but this
roaming.
game everyone
Yeah.
can go in with him, with
A lot
her.
of walking about, and I think it's doing well for him.
Oh,
He's,
Sunfire
really
all
stepped
over.
farm and does also have a couple of kills. So I would say the steps definitely
He's
work.
supposed to
Sunfire
buy
on.
Sunfire.
And now, Bro looking for Shirley as well. They want the collection of Big Sisters, and they should be
He's
able to get
supposed to buy.
Humpty is
Unlike
not
some
helped out
other
with that one.
champion.
Owner is here, cease and desist in hand, and the teleport is going to be invested. I don't know whether they're going to be able to grab this Herald, but they might be able to find themselves a team fight. As when do they
Why is
pull
Zeus
the
not
trigger?
going
The
in?
Ram is not
Ah,
up,
never mind then.
and the Nature's Grasp is going to go down. Gumayushi.
You know, I
able to
wouldn't
sidestep that one,
think
and Bro
much
just use
about
it as
Mordekaiser
parting
Zeus,
The Red Sea
but it's
is no
because you
longer
made
a
that
sea, I
thumbnail.
guess.
It's so
Yeah, good decision from Bro
unforgettable.
as well. You know, they use the
You'd be
ult
like-
to create an
He's
escape
looking at the
path.
camera. He looked at the
So they
camera.
move into mid to defend that tier 1 so it doesn't go down. They get the Herald and can be pretty happy with how they
He look at the
navigated that
camera
one.
and
They
be like,
also
I don't know
force
what
a
the fuck
TP
I'm doing.
early, and unlike the previous game, it's not really a 1-3-1 angle here. But LeBlanc can still be a threat in the side lane. So burning that TP is always going to be a big positive where possible.
I would agree.
Oh,
And
efforts
Hobie is the one
playing
with the
wolf
largest
skin.
gold
Oh, shit.
advantage here on the T1 side.
Who?
Bro leaning towards Morgan
Efforts
there
playing
is his
wolf
advantage,
skin.
But as the game goes on, you'd expect that Zeus is going to
SKT
Okay,
Alistar.
that's the positive, is that you
You're
have
telling
that
T1
lead on the
You're
LeBlanc.
telling
3
T1 you
kills,
ain't,
you know,
you
as we
ain't
said,
T1
kinda
anymore.
need a big item lead. Wants to kind of have the Shiv, plus thanks to the CS
Is it the? Is it?
helps
Wow,
with,
I didn't
have,
know
like,
that the
that
biggest
as an
T1 fan
advantage.
has the had
But
that skin.
it's also LeBlanc,
Oh.
so if they start to lose
Constant
momentum, it
depressed.
will really fall out of favor very quickly.
Yeah, Hobie here towards the top side of the map should be able to get some good work done on this turret, unless effort can do some crazy to
pushing,
deny
pushing.
these autos, but it looks like
Pushing,
it's going to be
pushing.
taken down. Morgan getting closed in on.
Well, I don't know.
There is
I
the
don't
brittle.
know.
It's going to be put
I
down,
call better
and
than-
they don't even need to use half of the buttons. Core Drinker does do a fair bit of work there, but punches
Pushing
back
the
there.
key.
And now you can see that Bro are trying to
Pushing
return
the
the favor
gunner.
here on the top side, but still they lose the outer
Wait, I
turret,
go
they
by
lose
the
their
champion.
Crocodile, and T1 finds some big advantages here.
Nah, Fury.
Yeah, Herald can get thrown down top just to take this tier 1, but definitely still a massive upgrade
Oh my god,
for
played
T1 in this situation.
rank at
They'll
like
take the tower.
3 AM. All them
Not too much
sweaty
else to
pep
get.
players.
I feel like using the Herald top
Are you having fun?
not the best option, because that mid tier 1's going to
Oh,
be really
now
hard to take
because
down
we
when
said
you have
already,
a
so,
Shiv
like,
Price in the
they
mid lane,
all-
you can just basically one-shot the wave.
Hey, I climb very
Yeah,
fast, you know. It's like every
Effort does
win I
have
get
Unbreakable
30
Will.
LP.
He's going to headbutt
Very
the
soon.
Carrier's
play.
going to turn up, and I think Bro were hoping
Why you want to
trade
play?
the inner turret
I
in
don't know.
bot lane for
Someone can push
the
people away
outer
perhaps.
and mid, but they're not able to get
What
that.
cannot
And then there's
temporarily
another T1
disable
who
on?
finds this inner turret in the top lane as
push.
well. So it's just kind of
It-
Bro giving
Oh,
T1
you
a
play
whole bunch of
2v2v2,
stuff
Yes.
and saying, no, it's okay.
They
we don't
disable all because of that
Yeah,
hard
not
steel
the
bullshit.
best
You
plan
see-
overall, I'd
you
say.
saw,
Very
you see
generous.
Very
that one
generous indeed.
YouTuber.
We'll give him that.
It'd be like he
after that
walking
game,
around
maybe
with
they wanted to
10,
give a little back.
10k HP
I
or
was
something.
going to
Flash there.
play
Yeah, it's a bit of a
Heimer,
lead for
man.
T1, Dragon's
Heimer
Falling
is
in a few
okay, you can
seconds.
zone people
I
out.
really feel like
they
either team is
ban.
putting too much work to set up.
Oh!
They don't respect the
Maybe
Cloud
because
Soul
Heimer
as
is
much as
completely
they could.
booked.
Which is mind-blowing after that game 1.
It's very unfortunate.
Maokai.
I'd say that it's sad, but it's okay. Not going to hold it against anyone. At least not live on air.
Where Maokai?
As Zeus
Oh,
now just clearing out vision here.
I
for
can
T1,
bomb
and it looks
people
like
out.
this streak is just going to blow
Cannot find
T1.
Maokai, what the fuck?
Not a lot that Bro's going to be able to do to try and get in
What's
here. Of
all
course,
these
they could try to use
Genshin
the Nature's Grasp,
Honkai Star Rail
up and available just yet.
Yeah.
Cannot set my rune, man.
They're just going to give it over.
cannot lah. This
Individual
what
Cloud
you?
Dragon, nice.
Oh, no
but
rune one,
really
ah?
a big
No
difference
rune one,
maker.
ah?
And there's
Wow.
time for Bro. I think
Wow.
getting that
You
Hemlock
don't know,
Dragon
ah?
was big
I don't know.
because gives
This
us
is the
time,
first
gives
time
you
I
the
played.
freedom to
Just now I play one
not
game
have to
already.
test every dragon. Wait for a better opportunity, and particularly when you look at the
That
item
night I played with
spikes,
Armor,
like
we
Karis
had
nearly
so
has
much
that
fun.
Manune stacked up, but not quite.
Yep.
So I think waiting a good call in this situation.
Only a few more stacks required, but
Oh,
it doesn't
they got
actually have
Vega.
done yet, so it should
But
be fine.
play Vega
Look
is
for a few
useless,
of
you
those
know.
stacks
It's
in the
like
top
you
lane.
cannot even
Effort,
stack.
Bobby just
Oh.
taking his cow for a
But
walk,
he got the big cage.
and Effort taking a lot of damage here. There's a distortion, and they do manage to get the Unbreakable
Hey, even
well
in my
out of Effort. Really
in my
nicely done, and
midnight
that should
rank
give
games,
T1 the ability
my
to
my
advance. They
own
do
also
manage
play
to take
Radiant
down this
Virtue.
outer turret. And now there are 4 turrets 4 turrets taken for T1. The LeBlanc is working this time.
What is this?
And then when you buy this, you started to buy like only
You know, trying to use that priority to push him
3,000 only can
get control.
3,000 only can buy per bottom
He's
item.
What is this, man?
there's no components that you buy the whole item.
It is once again trying to weather the storm.
You
And
cannot buy
I don't have much
components.
option for this war.
But is that going to be in this game, or do they have to wait until a game 3 in order to get there? Much like
this,
they
I
have
don't want to
tried
buy
do
it.
The LeBron
in
is
their
working
last 2
this time.
series. Game 1 has been Bro's territory.
And then your flash is like cooldown 1 turn.
Balance a win.
Like,
He's
when you use this,
Game 2s and the game 3s.
use this turn,
You know,
I think we get the
like
Jin
Bro,
first.
if they survive to 3
Got
AP,
casted
they're in
now.
a really good spot because they could honestly just go
Oh.
like more on Karis and.
I had the guy that's fit on Bro's team is Lord Morgan.
Carries, but with
I mean,
how
it's
much
Henna's
AP,
favorite
You're playing the LV back.
with how much AP T1 have, you could just do that, and it would be so hard for them to kill
But
your
to be
carries.
fair, Morgan's
Actually, yeah, this is what we
Renekton
were
is built.
considering as well,
it's
because we
built
thought that
different.
maybe Gumiishi would go for the AD route,
It's the
but he's
boss.
decided not to. So they are committed to the amount of poke that they will be able to do with the AP Kai'Sa. It is a much better build.
Oh my God.
But if you do want physical damage, then you do have the option. So yeah,
Alright.
I think you might be right there. And
Ah, yeah.
Ormal Mori is a fantastic one on the.
yeah, early game is like this
especially,
one.
third or
Triple
fourth
more,
side. Yeah, that's a lot.
Oh, the last
more
fucked up.
more.
You
The
fucked up.
more, the better.
The more Maokai, you know, he
Bro,
actually
what?
has really high base attack speed.
He saw the
Yeah.
sapling, he
Highest in
blink
the
back,
game.
and then he
And I'm
blink
pretty
back
sure
forward
it's
again.
more of
What?
Malkaidi-less, right? Like,
Yeah,
that's the
what?
name of the.
That's
the
what it's
item.
called
fuck
when you
is he
buy
doing?
it.
Yeah. We thought it was Mao's name, but it's not. It's just Maokai.
Become
So I
large,
think,
gaining,
Maokai is,
blah, blah,
is
blah.
not problems. I think it's
Healing
less
and
problems than
regen.
more.
That's what it seemed like when they
That
picked
was
him in pretty early
easy.
on.
Yeah.
That was the impression I got. Although I think he's probably going towards
I play
Feel
the
the
pick.
burn.
what builds out of Kindle Gem and those
Like
things.
million
You can hit
items?
this
Yeah.
They
dummy.
changed the build path
For
so
what?
much. It's so hard to keep up.
Yeah, there's quite a few
Just for the
things to
damage
be,
test.
building into, but, it looks like it is going to be one of the
Oh no, we
more,
fight the Lux.
magic resist
It has some magic
versions.
resistance, which is a great call.
Yeah.
You know,
I have
Bro
exhaust.
just roaming around their jungle. They do have a lot of control towards their top side, which is good. Going to deny T1 any sort of attempt at a Baron. And so far, they've
Hey,
just slowed
take
down.
the-
I guess Bro kind of okay with it. Because they would prefer things
that is
just
part of their
wait.
brand, being
Kudu,
okay
kudu.
Yeah.
and Brion with things.
Exhaust.
And they like to save
No.
time.
No.
They like to invest.
Exactly. And so they
need some
save up their
help,
gold
man.
until they have 6 items.
Oh
and
my
then
god.
They look for winning the game and stuff like that. And
Wow.
I'm gonna
20-minute Baron,
yeah,
baby.
that will get value, as they do get.
You know what that flower is?
Where
The
are you
flower,
I
watching?
get shield.
does go down.
the flower get the
I've
shield
seen
one.
the Last Whisper pick
Ben,
up
where
well.
are you
Yeah, I mean,
watching?
obviously,
Watching
there
on
is going to be a
Twitch,
lot of armor stacked up by Zeus, and he's
I'm
gonna be
also
very
watching on
cranky.
Twitch.
But,
What 20-minute
just, you know,
Baron?
be a little
They're
bit
just
more
walking
vulnerable.
around.
Confident.
They hit
I think,
Baron for a bit.
His ability to survive, I guess, with
I
that
think
direction.
he's also probably had a fair bit of criticism for how often he
Guma's
does
hitting
build
it
more
now.
before his Lord Doms on his Aphelios, and so I respect him for
Wait, how far back am I?
Because if he goes for
me
Lord Doms, then
refresh.
finishes more, then goes GA or something like that,
You know,
you're
he
very
could
happy.
have picked up a cheeky Hex Drinker like Karis just had.
Yeah.
That would be a
He could
nifty
still do
little
that.
divergence. You
We
never
need
know.
at
Yeah,
least.
that's
Oh,
valid.
never mind.
And
At least 1 DPS.
T1
because
just
this one
pinpointed
is
some
like.
minion waves. Morgan was on the bottom side.
It's always
He was
one
killing minion
DPS
waves
and
well.
one
He's
tank.
got his Black Cleaver done. We'll see what
That's
he is doing
why
next.
now we
He
playing
does
2
have it in
tank.
the
Good
match
lah.
cancel, as we could have the more.
Or like that one time,
Love
me
that.
and Amma play against
And
a
Bro gonna
duo.
move in, and,
They play
they're like,
Aatrox
it's our
Soraka.
turn for a dragon.
Yep.
And then the Soraka's just running
going
around
to
the
be
Aatrox,
nice.
just chasing our ass.
You know, they gave a lot to T1 earlier.
Well,
Oh,
here
what?
they go. They do manage to find the Aphelios,
Oh,
and he
he's
just
dead.
explodes massive
Nice.
value.
Oh, nice.
out of the
Oh,
round,
nice.
As well as Bro
Oh, it's a
just
bouncy castle,
getting
baby.
What the hell?
decimated.
What is Henna
It's
doing?
a double kill for Poby. I think that's 5 on this LeBlanc right now. A massive turnaround. Zeus is going to
bouncy castle.
I cannot.
to make sure that Umpty is going to be taken down. He's knocked up into the sky.
Oh,
and
got
that is
him.
just going to be
It's
the
end
ace.
of the game.
And T1, they may just win the game.
How to
Yeah,
play,
that's
man.
what
Finally, that's a good
It's
idea.
not how to play, it's we don't have
Yo,
damage.
Kobe MVP, let's go!
I'm not building the Hex Drinker.
That's one of the best
Hex Drinker
engages
wouldn't
I've
have done
seen
anything.
in recent time.
He would have
Holy
just
shit.
died regardless.
T1 catch out the
We
Aphelios
don't
Hey, yo,
have
they're concentrating
it.
on pom-pom
They
and
have
be
to.
like,
They're going to, right?
Well, they don't
Six,
actually have to,
1
but they
and
should.
0. It's also
We don't
the
have damage lah.
firstborn version of the
You either go no
Master
dive
as well.
or all
That's
dive,
what
man.
I'm excited about, but yeah.
It's like last game they only
We
had
play the
one
bush or
LeBlanc,
what?
like,
Play
bro.
the bush, we play with the bush.
No, I was hyped for it. I was ready. I grabbed my puck sheet. I was ready to write it down. I was like, oh, they're going to end. Game over. Go fast in the game. Nope, they decide to play it safe and smartly, and we'll see. So Henna just ends
Play
up.
it safe.
It's really hard to position
Play
here when there's
it
two
safe.
flankers on
No,
this
Riven,
angle.
Riven. Oh my
But
god.
ends up in a horrible position, gets instantly deleted. And then look at this wombo combo solo by Zeus, just a bounce house.
Oh my,
Wombo
it's phenomenal.
combo.
And the split decision for
Happy
Carrier
feet.
to not pile
Wombo
in
combo.
onto
Oh
the Aphelios
my
that already
god,
have
I'm
locked down.
dead.
Instead, finds the most beautiful
Sees
Magnus
everyone
Memory
else now.
turbulence ends in 12 hours.
Yeah,
Shit.
that's a way to deny any sort of peel. That's precisely
Then,
what does happen.
yeah.
So, inhibitor
Ah,
taken
okay.
on the bottom side of the map. The
I'll
Cloud Drake
take
is still
this.
up. They just didn't decide to take that one.
Silver Wolf.
As T1, they are looking for this Baron. So, the gold lead has ballooned. And bro, it's going to be so hard for them to
Bro.
get
We have
towards
the
this
ideal
pit.
LeBlanc.
I thought we should call them okay now.
Over your opponent.
Yeah.
Okay,
pretty
bro.
strong right now. Plus the ornament as well. So it's like, in terms of what is available, Hobie's doing a lot of damage. You can see Effort just got.
Wait, they haven't ended.
Oh, here it is. The Magnus does come through.
Oh, what?
Still, Henna manages to get himself relatively far away. Doesn't
they
exactly have
fought
the
so
greatest
hard
guns and
on
throws the Moonlight
Henna.
Vigil to Narnia. That is not what you want to see.
Poby
Decent knock up
is-
there from Effort, but in goes Gumayushi now.
Uh,
Flash his way out.
There's
Bro
still
still
Guma,
has
there's
some
still
members
Guma.
alive. And it's gonna end. T1 moving
Wait, you
towards
can't kill
the
him?
base. Yeah, teleport is gonna come through.
Morgan's
now
like,
T1
no.
decide that maybe they're not gonna be able
Just
to take
take the
this one
mid
down.
lane,
It's
what?
a little bit confusing, this whole situation, but they'll
They
take the
didn't die.
inhibitor turret in the mid lane, and now they can
still
back off.
tanky. Oh,
Towards
shit.
the Baron. You'd say it's still a victory.
Oh,
But that is
6-0.
still a bunch of gold
The
going over the
6-0
Bro,
guy
because
died?
Kobe
What?
died somewhere in amongst all
Pushing
that.
up, pushing
Yeah,
up.
I'm not
Yes.
picked
Yes,
up
yes,
the
yes.
kill. I mean,
They
presumably.
couldn't
blocking
kill
him.
Henna and then they fought so hard.
Yeah. Okay, we'll see.
You
on
got the wrong
replay.
way.
Yeah, going for the engage here. I think if T1 had fully connected with his engage, it would have just been an absolute wipe.
No,
Because the
no,
Ornal
no.
doesn't really connect on too many high priority targets.
Oh, shit.
The fighters are quite scrappy. Umpty.
He was chasing Umpty, bruh.
Me
It
too.
is Morgan who picks up the 1,000
I thought he was
gold,
chasing Morgan. I
nice
was
they
like,
got that,
ain't
but
no way
ultimately
Renekton
T1 are
is
like,
that
hey,
tanky.
You guys have a Nexus
almost
that we
killed
can just
Umpty,
kill.
actually.
And they don't.
What?
But they do
There's
threaten
no
it.
vision, man,
The
in that
identification
bush. That's
of
why
the
he
fact
just
that
walked
you
in.
need to kill a Nexus to win the game, though. I do
He
respect that.
couldn't kill, so he walked in,
Past
fall
couple
into
weeks. I think if
the
you compare
unwatered
the
bush,
Nexus
and then he
kill
gets
rate
caught.
This T1
Yeah.
summer
Raven.
Raven,
compared to, let's say, spring.
The way he
There's
uses
stark
like distortion
But
is
there's
like
also
very
this
wacky.
serious
I don't know what
correlation
happened.
between the team that has the most Nexus destructions and victories.
He
Like,
plays
crazy
LeBlanc like an
correlation
average LeBlanc
between
player.
Yeah.
It's almost like if you kill more of them, then you do more winning.
The only good
wanna
LeBlanc is
assume,
Faker,
you know,
and that's
I'm
his
not-
You gotta make sure
champion for
correlation and
years.
causation are two
Only he
different
knows.
things,
He
man.
only he
Oh,
understands
get-
the champion.
I
Really
get
careful
that.
making these statements live on air.
Yeah, no, I need to be
Wait.
You check your facts on this one
much
before
more
you.
careful.
Yeah, get
and
that
I'm
boy.
not gonna overextend into that.
He
As
can't
He doesn't have
get
he
bullied.
doesn't have
PP.
teleport, and so he's in the bottom lane, and that means the T1 will be able to call themselves a Baron. And bro,
They're so
well and truly on
squishy.
the back foot now. I don't
Oh,
know
no.
whether
I buy
am,
that cap already.
my level of
I've
relief
just-
is running out.
I've just realized T1
Straight
are now
away, that kept
7,000
redeeming,
gold
what the fuck?
ahead, which, based on what we've seen in this
Oh,
series,
yeah.
is a very bad thing.
I don't know if I want to
Um,
stream.
so-
I'm
This is
feeling a
Bro's
little
comfort
anxious.
zone.
I
Yeah.
got
Streaming
the
right
call, I
now.
feel-
Spirit Visage was what Umpty was building towards. He
Yeah, I
does now
think
have that
it's-
one.
I guess I
It's
just
a
stream
Negatron now that
Forgotten
jumps
Hall.
into Abyssal Master.
But
The worst,
more Crocodile.
worst
as
7
he
is
was.
very
So
easy
3 items are
than I
collected for him.
expected.
But T1 is still just landing this poke. And Bro are desperately trying to hold on.
Hey,
The Nexus turret
that
is slowly but
that
surely,
lawful Mr.
ticking
Donut, he
back.
keeps healing like
And,
a
Bro
bitch,
just
man.
trying their
That
very
fella
best
quite easy,
to
to
hold
be
on to this
honest.
game.
Yeah lah, I
Isn't
say
exactly
already,
getting,
man. Easy, man.
really
Mr.
capitalized on
Y,
right now, but
Mr.
T1 is
Yang.
just slowly inching
I
forward.
like how.
Oh,
without
it's
the
both of
jabs
them
up,
again.
hey, we need someone to go in the side lane. Why not Carrier? And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
that
gonna
sounds about right.
ew.
It's someone.
Well, Umpty has decided that
What
he
you
wants to
want?
go for the engage. Poby just distorts, and that is going to be enough to deny the ultimate.
Okay, I'm coming.
In the
A
Vega.
fair bit of CDR is now built up here for Umpty, or ability haste, depending on whether you want to be correct or
Wait,
not.
you serious?
And Umpty can just wait for that one to come up again, but now is a window
Hey, kite,
for
man.
T1 to continue pushing forward. Inhibitor goes down
He
in
got
lane.
longer.
The bottom lane is going to follow shortly. You
Yeah,
have
he
to
got bite. He got
imagine.
that shit, man.
He got
Man,
bad
T1
shit.
really not biting off more than they can.
Dodge, dodge.
Playing this one as by the numbers as they can. As Carrier, he might now try and find his
Yeah, I'll stream.
opportunity.
Go in the
Seeker
bush,
not going to
man.
find too much.
Maybe I can challenge
Yeah,
Forgotten Hall
Dodging
again.
these Void
I
Seekers.
don't know.
Unfortunately, their base is
Not Forgotten Hall,
Yeah,
it's
that is
Simulator
the problem.
Universe.
As Cease and Desist does come
What
down,
the
the
fuck, do you
ramp
win?
going to follow through as well as Ona goes
Oh,
forward.
shit.
There's the Magna Storm.
Oh,
Absolutely
oh,
beautiful. And the Vi goes down, but I don't think that is going to matter at all in this game. Killer Instinct from Gumayushi as well as he takes down the cow. And Karis relegated to his fountain. And Bro once again going the distance in this series. We are going to have a game number 3, but this time, man, especially Poby, finding
6-1-6.
some redemption here.
Oh,
T1
Gumayushi.
redeeming themselves and demonstrating that this LeBlanc draft can work.
Yeah, proving me wrong. You know, we were so
This
critical
LeBlanc
of LeBlanc coming in again.
What?
Technically, it is a better LeBlanc draft than last game.
Listen, I don't know how to play, man.
Yeah, this simulator universe is deceptively easy. I just changed my team comp to Cryo then Kennedy.
As well, Herta is OP.
Just
I didn't even train my Herta though.
just freeze. Kulu.
Friendship with Kuru has ended. Pushing is now my new friend.
Pushing.
Take a kiri. Singkirkan.
Oh, so T1 win win the another game.
When they win, it sounds so surprising now. Because they've been so ass.
That's what I say.
And like, hey.
Jason, I need to let you know I don't know how to play tank.
Then I tank lor. Then you TP lor.
DPS.
Uh,
覚えたわよ知識をあなたにも
Garen. Many people ban time.
Timer is broken.
Yeah.
振動の権限
Let me think.
はびこりなさい
Hey, Twitch with no runes is actually shit, man.
Yeah, we will getting runes inside.
Gonna kite.
Gonna keep kiting only.
I'm gonna keep coming.
12 hours. At least 20 seconds. They are easy though. Take this.
What the heck? Oh,
This.
Wait, so many 2 Malzaha. What? Fuck, man.
Press R to win, baby.
Yellow. This is bullshit.
2 Malzaha. Oh, Jax and Ilawi. Oh my god. Oh, shit.
Yes.
Oh
Okay.
shit. Oh baby.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Can you stop?
Hey, if we all queue up for 2v2v2 together, we meet up in the same game.
I don't know.
浴びすぎると眠くなるんだ。徹夜で仕事をした時みたいに頭がクラクラするよ。
We play econ. Play econ this round.
You think what, Counter Strike?
Counter minded.
You're not sound that good anyway.
Hey yo.
Oh no.
Need to zone that Harvey stuff. I'll stay behind you.
I'm button nut.
Let me.
Your reinforcement.
You just run, you just run.
Okay, okay. Holy shit!
Whoa, shit.
I'm about to come.
You know damage.
That looks so funny.
You play Vayne, man? What the fuck? I did.
I do. Infernal Soul.
But people say cannot play Vayne. Just play the Vayne.
We have no down characters. Shit. Well, shit.
Oh no, he's gonna jump on you.
I have to pin to them.
You have to pushing.
You run. Hi. Come on, man.
私のお家にいらっしゃい。
次こそ。
お客さんが全部丸見えね。さあ踊るよ。
次こそ。
どうしよう。
逃げるんだよ。
Hey yo.
And then jump away.
What are you doing, bro?
Lol. Yeah.
Do what? Do what?
I have ulti now, can save your ass.
Hey yo.
Oh, look at that brick damage, man.
I need the Tom New lah.
The Tom Mill needs you.
The thornmail becomes me.
Hey, why we cannot move? Oh, okay.
Need to buy first.
I don't want to buy.
Buy
I want
round.
to save money.
You need to buy the HE grenade, very powerful.
HE grenade is overrated.
And wow, black shield. What the fuck,
This is so fair, man.
Okay,
you
fine.
buy the AK-47 very cheap, only 2500 gold.
Are you sure?
Ow.
Hey yo.
And wasn't that why terrorist was broken? Because you could buy the AK for cheaper than like the counter-terrorist weapon.
Yeah, no damn try hard match, man.
Okay, I'm out. Bye bye.
I think the CT was like 3400 or some shit. I'm about to blow.
I keep aiming Silver Wolf, bitch.
Oh, it's the freaking cow again. What you want?
That's not a lot of damage. Shit.
我心烟。
無事今日の依頼。星と深
Ah, heal please.
星と深
Helped out his lane, really got him ahead, and he was able to.
You
make
do
that work really
nothing
well,
to
so excited
them.
to see that. Let's take a look though at the bot dive we had.
Oh god, it's that boy.
It could have been really bad for T1, but at least Kobe leave.
Yeah, if they were able to get one more auto on him with the Ignite ticking, he definitely goes down, a shutdown goes over, but I think this was a really risky play for T1 considering there's a Maokai on the other side, there's an Alistar on the other side. The execution was clean enough to where it worked out, but at the end of the day, like, winning the plus columns for T1, but when I was watching it happen, I felt like I was watching a car crash about to occur. I was very nervous for them. I thought they were going to maybe throw some of those advantages away. They were decisive and they made it work.
Yeah, they made it work. That was actually the team
serious,
fight that got Poby 3 kills.
Oh, I can
one,
just
and,
dispel that
eventually
Mr.
we did
Doom
move
thing.
on to highlight number 2, which was this fight on the Drake, and this one was kind of the Zeus show, the bouncy castle that we did have. After the pick onto Henna, I think Bro's positioning in this one as a team not the greatest we were looking at.
Yeah, I mean, this is a game dance team fight basically. Like, after days, like, I think this team fight was so one-sided. It was really nice engaged on the. You know, everyone's the same page. Just like this is what I said. Like
cannot lie.
Actually, like, and Kobe, like,
this is
I
a bad
think
idea.
Like, different angle they're trying to approach. So the Henna, there was no way he could actually leave or put DPS. It's just nothing possible. And after that, Carrier and on top of the Zeus just played perfectly well. That they were.
You know what?
I think that Henna kind of felt like if he could move away from his team there, maybe they could set up a cross setup for the Renekton to come back in. But they ended up being caught by that Magnus.
The boss is fucking nuts.
So he is killed as well by Divide, and that's just a divide and conquer from T1. I think the most pivotal moment in the game for sure.
Yeah, it definitely was. I mean, it's not often you get 5 kills and a pretty clean ace at that point in the game. But guys, let's take a look at the POG here for game number 2. I think of definitely a couple of names that could fit the bill, but this time it will be Owner who picks it up.
How the Owner get play of the game? Shit me.
Not the first guy on our mind, but we'll pick it up
Jungle dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice.
What did he do?
I mean, this mid play also really huge impact.
It sounds so triggered.
Like, as I said,
Usually I'm like okay with the jungle because the jungle usually wins the early game like the gangs. But this game, no way, man.
Yeah, he really got Poby ahead. We ended up voting for Zeus because I thought his impact in team fights was very consistent.
You sound so disappointed.
Also incredibly strong from him even into the Renekton, so he also
did nothing. What? He protect Poby a bit then.
You know, it's kind of a big brain play, I think, to vote for Owner here because he set up some of these fights, and I felt like he was the one calling for these engages, and there's a big reason why Poby got so fed, and it's going to be a split vote at the end of the day.
Yeah, and it's, you know, it's not even media this time around. It's kind of just like one piece of each puzzle just coming together, 5 out of 11. And you see that there's a smattering of votes, even Carrier getting some. He had some great Rel play in this game as well. So ended up being just T1 team fighting victory, essentially, this time around.
Yeah, I mean, if they want to win the last game, like they have to, like game 3, they have to play like this, like about the object setup, like those kind of things, like super data.
Like,
we saw game 1
Easy.
how bad they were playing
POG
with their
point.
8K ahead. Just keep in mind, just play still good because the Brion's okay, bro, is still playing decently well.
Okay, bro.
And bro are going to move over to the blue side
here.
Bro. As you can see. The casters did mention, you know, bro are really good at coming out of the gate very fast and playing a great game 1, but definitely struggled once the pressure begins to mount. I'm worried for them here in game 3. We know what they're capable of, but we need to see kind of more of what happened in game 1.
And like so many of the early games going well for Bro, but then falling apart in the late game, they have often won game 1 and then lost in a reverse sweep. And this may be another one of those scenarios. I want to see Bro try to limit T1's ability to engage.
Poppy has been broken this soul for so long, but the team still don't pick
factor there as well. T1 looked a little bit.
How is he Peanut play crazy?
Cross also playing him that day. I mean her that day. Every team fight just kick the person away.
Let's go back to the casters for this third game.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for the breakdown of game number 2. A little bit sad that Toby didn't get it, to be honest.
Oh wait, you're a boss?
He was a young boy, and he managed to figure it out. But I think the Ona votes make some sense. I think that Zeus and Carrier definitely played the most finessely.
Yeah, I was an Ona believer. You know, a lot of good starts on those engages, and as someone who has also levied a lot of criticism, definitely a bit of Ona redemption coming in there.
Ona redemption? I like that.
I think that's what it's going to be. Bro now switching sides on blue side for the first time. I think the LeBlanc first pick has been a contentious pick. Don't think it's something that Bro will go for, but I'm interested to see what they will prioritize first pick.
It's the long con. It's the long con, Ox. I figured it out. The reason why T1 were prioritizing it so hard is they knew the game 3 was going to happen, and they've now mind controlled Bro into thinking that LeBlanc is the first pick that they need to go for.
I don't think you can mind control Bro. I think, you know...
But maybe that's the angle. Maybe that's what they're trying to do.
They're all wearing tinfoil hats, right? They're immune to the mind control.
And T1, you know what? They agree with you. Yeah. They're going to ban it away. They don't want to deal with it.
T1 actually thinks LeBlanc is broken.
And I guess Nico having banned here on the side of T1. Bro, taking away the Rumble, the Vi as well. They also respect Ona for his ability to get these fights started in the previous game.
Yeah, wait for the real master of LeBlanc to come back then say it.
The Nico, I think, has to be the final one for T1, so Bro, Poppy is something
he's not even playing LeBlanc, he knows his shit right now. He's just getting a small buff because of the static shift bullshit.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Work for them in game 1. Hopefully gonna work for them
suddenly your assassin can clear
wave. And now T1, a lot of picks that they could lean towards. Sejuani, also something that is open once more. They're going to open up with the Kai'Sa and actually going for the Maokai, so potentially leaning towards that Jace, mirroring kind of what Bro did in that game 2, going for the Maokai Jace is a very common duo we have seen.
Very common.
I bought second shift, I clear wave very fast. When I come out from the wall, it adds like 50 damage
in this game. As Bro just looking for the lovers duo there towards the bottom side. Xayah into Kai'Sa, a tale as old as time. And Henna really loves the Xayah. Even if the win rate isn't necessarily ridiculous for him, he does really like the pick.
The thing is here is now you have the Kai'Sa Jace. Both of them can do fantastic poke with mixed damage because you have the AP for the Kai'Sa, the AD for the Jace.
True.
And Bro have gone with a similar vibe to like
every time this fat boy summons his lankies, it sounds like he's saying what the fuck.
Azir Xayah, sorry.
Yeah, which one?
And the fat ice boy. And it's like saying what the fuck.
What? It's just a robot sound.
What? These early picks for Bro. Going into the next phase of bounds, band away, the Skarner.
I don't even know he talks. He doesn't say shit.
Game 1. And yeah, Sejuani.
Oh god, LS is LS.
You know, Azir Xayah, sorry. Fantastic. The enemy team is charging towards you. But T1
can we do it? Can we actually go Ludens on Kai'Sa?
Say what? Say what?
Do not need to do that. They can just maintain distance and poke you down. So some question marks about these early picks for Bro. Going into the next phase of bounds to find a way to Skarner tonight.
T1 banned Skarner, you shit me. Skarner was not the problem.
Yeah, comes out. Obviously, can't pick the Alistar as they already have the Rakans. Kind of that. T1.
Oh, this Crag.
Can just take support here, knowing that they already know the map.
Skarner was not the problem.
A lot of options being toyed with. Yeah. I think, honestly, the Alistar's pretty good. Not as big of a fan of the Blitzcrank in this setup, but we'll see what they opt to go for.
And it is going to be Blitz, the Crank.
Yeah.
As Valdez would like to call it.
A lot of pick potential.
Crank
this,
but
you know, considering the rest of your teams kind of want to align with that poke at a distance and play disengage, not really ideal. And Bro, they are fully committed to like this composition that is fantastic, appealing backwards, but their engage is kind of limited to effort on the Rakan, or maybe if someone on T1 stands next to a wall. So, personally, I'm not the biggest fan of how it comes together. I think the composition has good synergy, but into what T1 has, maybe not the sharpest.
What is that game?
We're seeing Zeus talking here what he wants to play.
Where is the impact?
You feel the impact.
Very hard to deal with for Rion, if I'm going to be honest.
Impact of these
nuts. Scale exceptionally well, and also we're
you feel the impact after you get Star Rail.
Barrels and the cannon barrage are going to make it so much more difficult. So I think T1 should be pretty comfortable in this one, but still some variables.
Wow! Finally a Poppy. What?
Fantastic on this Azir.
Wow!
Effa had that strong game 1 on the Rakan, and realistically, Blitzcrank could be very feast or famine.
And right now,
both of these are decent team comps actually.
On a 4-game winning streak. So which one of them is going to continue it, and which one is going to lose it? That is going to be the question here. Zeus has been a great Gangplank player in the past. I personally just really like Gangplank. To be honest, I think it's been really good. It's been mainly Doran that's been playing it. And just have to see how things are going to go. Bro have struggled so much. Games 2 and 3 have not been their games.
Although there's LPL playoffs later. Wow.
But they could theoretically do it.
What?
Their first time
LPL playoffs later.
Series. They've got a very comfortable draft for themselves.
Playoffs already.
I
mean, it was quite. It was this past week already.
Are looking really, really strong.
The Shy's playing. Oh shit!
The fact that they've augmented the solo poke from the last game, or I guess semi-solo poke, given the fact that Poby was able to poke on the LeBlanc as well, but now got both damage types of poke. Makes it very, very difficult here for Bro to deal with it. See what happens. We hop into the Rift here for game 3.
Oh, it's time to see the next snap.
The next what?
The next go snap.
The nut snack.
Ah, you still haven't finished the story.
I haven't started yet.
For the,
wow, it's match 69.
Coming on in here is that's a heroic charge. That could be a dead pirate.
It's not. It said match 69. This is a 69 game of this summer.
Going to his direct opponent.
Yeah.
You know what? I obviously had my the Bro comp into what T1 have. Stuff like this is really how you shake that up. Finding a good early kill. And what is actually fantastic here is the flashes. I do love that skin, especially this
how much does Pella need?
Yeah, true.
Phenomenal. But what's great about that as well is the only person who flashed was Morgan.
Chat,
so, you know,
we
have a
chat didn't say anything about 69.
Morgan. I think if and Effort had also both flashed, it would still be weird, but a bit less so.
But Zeus died, but anyway.
In terms of summoners there, and just a great angle from finding that slam into the wall. And now Morgan comes to lane with a cloth armor and a control ward.
Yeah, this is it's pretty powerful for Bro as just wastes no time. And this is another one of those things, right? They banned the Skarner and the Sejuani, two very understandable bans here that Bro have been using very well. But Umpty's Poppy has been amazing.
Would you say it's been popping off?
Yes, I would say that would be a relatively accurate way of
yeah,
describing
baby,
his performance on the Poppy.
Satisfying.
And it also can really warp how a setup composition like this wants to go, right? Because if you're waiting for a go button, there is no better way to do that than say goodbye to 2 people or 1 person, and then go for your all-in. If the Shock Blast is going to go wide, that could have been...
Wait, did that hit Umpty?
That hit Umpty?
I didn't see.
That's really rude.
No, he's just catching strays, walking by, and he gets slapped in the head.
Oh, wait.
I assume
is he immediately going to, like, claim revenge? Oh, we'll just have to see. Is Poby moving to the wrong side? There's a heroic charge. Finds the devastating blow as well. Flash comes out. No buckler available. So Umpty's not going to be able to...
Poby almost
will be able to get the flash.
You should be careful about where you're aiming your Shock Blast.
Isn't he always?
Umpty was not happy about potentially... I don't know if it hit him.
Match 69.
That it could have, and I think that's really the problem here.
Absolutely. I believe that was earliest first blood of the season.
How do you find him?
We had barely got out of the loading screen. So 39 seconds. There we go. Breaking records here in this game as well. That it's the whole situation isn't really going to change too much outside of the fact that Morgan does come to lane with that bit of extra money. Zeus was never really going to have the greatest of times As does get a trial by Fire Proc onto Morgan, who is just going to try and demolish his turret as best he can.
And you know, I think obviously a good start with the gank on the Poby, but when I see a Poppy in the game, I'm always thinking about what can be done in the side lanes. And I think both can be quite vulnerable. Like, Blitzcrank isn't the best at countering dives compared to like an Alistar or something. If you make a play bot lane, slam Guma or Carrier into the wall, it can be devastating.
Yeah. Now you've got Umpty moving back towards this mid lane once again. Good Shock Blast going to connect onto Karis. That should deter the Azir from
bro has the
fact that T1
wave.
Okay. Very preoccupied dealing with these minions being shoved into their turret over and over again. On the bottom side, they are gaining access to this river. Might allow Bro to put together a few of these Drakes, and it's an Infernal to start us off.
Which would be a bit of a change of pace considering T1 have been first on those dragons in both the first 2 games. And the thing is, this would be a very different game if the early game goes in favor of Brionne, because so far this series, we had game 1 where there was a 7,000 gold lead.
Yeah.
And then game 2 where there was a 7,000 gold lead.
As Poby is just aggressively running towards Karis. Shifting Sand's not going to really do anything at all, as Karis was a bit slow on that one. And so Poby winning out on this trade in a big way.
But I will say, Karis has maintained his TP, so as long as he doesn't die, not actually that big of a deal for him to get chunked out, because he can eventually push the wave in, teleport, and any help that Poby's trading, he's not really going to be able to sustain back up unless he goes for a teleport, well, unless he recalls and just walks it back.
Yeah, and he doesn't have any charges left of this Corrupting Potion as well, so...
yeah, I think Karis pretty happy with how the trades went. Trading down when you know you're going to be able to reset is good, and Poby will push this in, and I think with the amount of mana he's used, he will obviously have to look for a recall.
Yeah, and should be no minions, at least as far as experience is concerned, going to be taken away. So Lost Chapter done here for Karis. Great first back. And that
I
is
need one more.
Moving up towards his top side in his pajamas. Wanting to help out Zeus.
Yeah, so is Gangplank more broken or Cassandra? We'll find out this game.
In the brush. And that is what Owen is going to be able to provide. Going to now collect his Krug camp.
If it's Faker, Cassandra, then Cassandra.
Has some camps up, and so is going to be able to grab that experience and gold when he can.
Yeah, I feel like I would like to see maybe side for the Poppy, especially pre-6, because I think 6 is when the Maokai gets a lot of power with the ultimate.
Yeah, true.
And of course, the Poppy ultimate does have power, but it's kind of... I feel like a lot of it is when you're setting up for objectives and you knock the enemy jungler away, whereas less so in like raw combat power.
Yeah, unless you're, you know, finding that chase down, you can use the ultimate to get the extra little knocker.
Snap one, yeah.
Things like that.
I'd say less ganking power is probably the way I'd phrase it, rather than less, because it is a super powerful ultimate.
Owner is looking to come up.
Yeah, you're not killing Cassandra, man.
Morgan.
I know you are Gangplank, but no way, bro.
Cannon Barrage coming down here. Let's see what Morgan's going to be able to do as the all-out does come through, but it's not exactly the greatest.
Oh, you cannot kill, yeah.
They
are ganking a Cassandra, you shit me? You are Maokai and Gangplank, bro.
Flash only just coming back off cooldown immediately. Morgan's going to have to use it. Still keeps himself alive.
You can see the intent though from Morgan there. He wanted to flip Zeus into the wall and then
nice gang, bro. Nice gang.
Just beat him up. But unfortunately,
that's like that Diana and who gang my Sion mid lane last time.
And Flash will get banned, but Brionne will be able to pick up that dragon. Second will be an Ocean, which means we could have Triple Cloud. It's a possibility.
I mean, it should be. It was in the cards this morning. I looked out my window and it was sunny and nice. Everything was going great. And that told me that it was going to be a Triple Cloud start.
Wait, you looked out the window and it was sunny and nice?
Yeah, it was. And then the clouds all came over. And
yeah,
then it was disgustingly humid all day.
I mean, that is...
Oh, I needed one more.
One brief moment where, you know, it just sort of peeked through and it was beautiful. And that's what really led me to believe.
I think I must have missed that period. Whenever I looked outside, it was just grey. So
yeah, it was a bit dismal after that.
Yeah, maybe I was asleep during that point.
Could have been
dreaming of Cloud Souls.
Yeah, and you know the version in your dream is probably also beautiful. So you may have had an inkling as to what could have been happening here. What we do know for sure is that you are concentrating, and that it's not going to be Chemtech Soul.
I'm doing my best.
Yep.
You know, it's hard, especially with like a 3-game series. It's hard to concentrate all the way through.
69 CS.
But it is.
Stop it.
It's on me.
And it's for these players as well. You know, if like they have to deal with, like, remember, it's a lot more on them the amount of pressure.
Oh.
So
you need to farm?
Don't
oh, 70 CS.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't be a Chemtech solo.
No, don't. You've done it in the past, and we're hoping that you've learned. As Umpty, he's going to start off this Rift Herald. And so far, the neutral objectives going into the hands of Breon are relatively uncontested. As Morgan just having to deal with this gangplank. It looks like he's about to go on a holiday. Hitting things with a spatula, shooting things with a water pistol. Having a great time. I do really like pool party gameplay.
Yeah, I like generally the pool party skins have a pretty good vibe. Yep. Also, Rumble in the Jungle. I think there was some Rumble in the Jungle slander the other day on broadcast. Very upsetting.
Yeah, I think I was backstage getting upset about that as well. I just think like dropping a row of pineapples, it's like can never be bad. How can that ever be not an amazing thing?
Yeah. And I think there's two sides to arcade. There's like the new fancy skins that like look technically really cool and everything, and they're great, don't get me wrong. And then there's the old, charming, clunky, kind of ugly skins.
You're talking about Junkyard Trundle, aren't you? The best skin in the game.
Scuba Gragas?
Yep. Junkyard Trundle is nowhere near as good as it used to be, though.
Well, bro, why do they keep ganking the Cassante?
With a muffler.
Is T1 dumb as shit?
The greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, you know, he's got all of those extra polygons and stuff like that, and it's just not the same.
It's not the same. It's
oh no, just go bot lane, man.
The splash art was especially
what is this?
For Junkyard Trundle, and it was
now
so
it's just
I haven't done the character trials yet.
Isn't it just like six-pack Trundle is the new
After HP is lower several times, automatically deals damage to all enemies.
If there was a skin that I could bring back,
consume HP to use a powerful ability.
Junkyard Trundle, and I barely even play Trundle.
You just wanted to be there for when Trundle's meta.
Exactly. And Peanut would play it, 100%. I guarantee you. Because he's always one to go with the fun skins.
With the clunky cool skins.
Yeah. I think he's a traditional Trundle player in the past as well. As the game is slow.
Oh, it actually shows you the skills this time.
At all anymore.
Deals minor wind damage, consume HP to enhance basic attack.
Farming things up. You can see he's actually
Does
ahead by a
not,
bit of farm as
the
well.
turn does not
Even though he doesn't have pressure in the lane,
sets current HP to 50% and deals massive wind damage to single
It's kind of weird
target
how we've had this game 1 and game 2 where it was
adjacent
like
target, so it's a
driving
blast.
the game forwards, and now in this game 3 it's like flipped where Bro are the ones
Suhu's gift.
and T1 are just chilling.
Oh my god, that technique is called Karma.
Can you trust someone that says that Lollipoppy is the best skin in the game?
Like modern Lollipoppy or old Lollipoppy?
Old Lollipoppy.
Well, I mean, to be fair, like, was this? I don't even think the skin was that
Oh,
bad. It was
what?
more about the splash.
Yeah, no,
what dragon fight? No way, man.
Especially the old one, right? Computers were worse.
Like,
you were in the loading
T1 has
screen
no money
for a
how
long
to
time while the
team
person's
fight right
potato
now.
was trying to load the game.
I think honestly, it's also probably the strongest skin in the game because you know,
it does emotional damage.
It
that
does.
Is true.
It does. If someone sees that going up against himself, especially because old Poppy had that ultimate where you'd lock someone in a 1v1 with you and just mess them up. That was a much more intimidating sort of Poppy than the current. I'm pretty tanky.
We're gonna get knocked up there right on the edge. Heroic entrance.
No, got fucked
down, and that is just 100 to 0. No tree to be had, and Omen didn't even have an opportunity to use his ultimate.
Yo, you see Poppy's broken. What the fuck, Poppy? He just smashed that guy against the wall. He cannot move for 3 seconds.
Oh, Blade is also like Himiko, I guess.
For a good soul,
instead of 3 stacks, it's 5 stacks.
Picked up 2 early dragons, and I'm really concentrating hard, and we are rewarded.
I told you I looked out the window, and it was the parting of the clouds, and then they all rolled back in.
You know, I was so nervous
that it was Cloud Soul Day.
I was so nervous.
Behold the punishment of my ass.
Well, we've also got a hook onto that minion. That minion decides that
Ariel, what are you doing?
Deserve to be in that particular position in the lane. Come over here a little bit.
Oh no!
That is precisely
he hooked a minion.
Backing.
Whoa!
And the ult's gonna be used.
That's Carrier playing Blitzcrank. Trash's band, is it?
That's
I don't know, man.
You know what?
Analysis that I'm going with.
The Blitzcrank not quite had the impact I think they
were
before. And by that I mean any impact at all.
Yeah. I liked how we got the Jonah Strong zoom in. They're like, I'm ready for action. It's going to be the
Why
best.
does owner don't know how to use Maokai, man?
I feel like that really adds to it because you know, you sit up in your chair, you're like, oh, I'm ready, and then...
I look at Curse's Maokai and Peanut's Maokai there, it's like broken as shit, man.
He's going to go all out, and Zeus, yeah, not a lot of distance for him to go. Morgan's just going to slice him up. The topos to the back of the skull, and that is a dead pirate. And now, more plates could go over. They're going to be falling down in 25 seconds' time.
Yeah.
Dante might be able to get another one here. Speaking of which,
He's
Gumayusi does have some
almost
spare
dead
time
already,
in this outer,
bruh.
so we'll be able to get one for himself. But look at this.
We have 2-0 Lord Morgan with plates, with a potential Cloud Soul coming up. Could it get better for Bro?
I don't think it could. And honestly, like Cloud Soul isn't biased, right? Like Cloud Soul is just great for everyone. T1, if they can stack 4 of them, it's a bit better for them because they have 4 of them.
Bitch
got
got
to deal
bonked.
with those other silly drakes like Infernal and Ocean. As Ona,
Why would you need a trial for Natasha?
The patience and effort, waiting for the ult. They get the stun against the wall, and then it's just done here and here.
And I can't change
Really well played by
characters.
Morgan. Gets up on top of the GP. Make sure he lands the Q by trapping him against the wall. Not much space to dodge. And then at this point, he's just dead.
And denies the...
Oh god, I'm playing Dan Heng again.
At the beginning of that fight. And the beginning of it is where things can get dangerous, right? You get the
Oh!
as well as we've got Poby taking a fair bit of damage. Does find a...
This is butt and ass.
That is a tanky Poppy.
Yeah, that is. And I don't know whether Carrier being over here could... Like, that could have been a detriment because that would have been
This is butt and ass.
for Umpty. And this is the problem, right? Because Umpty is so incredibly aggressive on this Poppy. He feels immortal when he plays Poppy. Because a lot of the time when you're playing Poppy, you kind of are.
Yeah,
She's really, really tanky.
Poppy is best when she can run around super fast, super tanky, and just slam people on the walls at a whim. That is when she feels oppressive. And right now, T1 investing heavily
This
in
is
the top
butt and
side
ass.
to get this Herald. They've already lost out on first turret. But trying to deny this one and maybe look for that T1 mid. There's already objective bounties in the game. Look at the gold lead.
T1 only just denied the perfect game from Bro at 15 minutes. They were on perfect game pace until that Herald went down.
Oh, Come Home is also
And you know
so
what?
low.
When it ticks past 20 minutes, we could even forget that Herald was taken and just say that it was a perfect game because it's going to say 0-0-0 at the top.
There's a lot of discussion about this because perfect game was a thing before Herald was a thing, you know?
Yeah, it was. But then we redefined perfect game after Herald and turret plates were introduced because you can have a perfectest game. If you take all of the enemy's turret plates, you don't lose any yourself, and you also don't sacrifice any Rift Heralds or Drakes.
Those are some heavy standards these days.
Hey, we actually, so in the debut of the Rift Herald, I think it was 2019, T1 played in Kesper Cup and actually got the perfectest game.
Wow.
They took every plate, they didn't lose a plate themselves, and then just...
They set the standard.
Oh, those stacks,
and then
actually.
I can't remember another one that we had.
Oh, and we have Locket from Umpty. I mean, there's
Sword stance.
There's so much burst damage on
up
T1.
to 10 stacks, so it's 20% damage increase.
Typically, it's the Evan Shroud, but there's not too many like targets you're gonna need that extra damage on the side of T1. All the squishy targets to burst to, so you know I'm kind of vibing with it.
I kind of like it. What I don't like though is the Blitzcrank in a game state like this. It's going to be really, really hard now for Carrier to find anything. Yeah, no.
Oh, I thought that was a second Maokai. You know, it's the cats.
Yeah, no, it's a meow crank.
That doesn't work nearly as well.
Yeah, it really doesn't. I apologize, everyone. Still, Bro going to be able to push this wave towards the turret. Morgan dashing away. They do have someone that can stand in front of a Blitzcrank really nicely as well. The Cassante.
Oh my god, 3 chapters.
Press W and say, huh? Don't really care about that.
Meow crank.
Of course, Umpty probably wants to be the one standing in front because if he gets hooked, he's psyched. Very happy about how that one goes.
It's a gap closer.
Yeah, he's like, value? That's what I'm talking about. Basically another battle dance for effort. Love to see that.
You see both teams posturing around mid because they want to set up for this very important dragon coming up next.
Yeah. The first Cloud Drake, Cloud Soul point for Bro.
I feel like that story event mission is kind of ass. It's not that interesting.
Does find a Shock Blast on Henna somehow. I believe I don't even know whether he missed Umpty. I think he was just waiting for Umpty to move aside so he could hit Henna with it. Still, it's not going to mean that they're able to get themselves a Drake or anything
what's that
like
song?
that. C1 bites time.
Trinity Force Gangplank?
Zeus,
what?
Pirate. He's now got his Trinity Force done.
It's always been Trinity Force, huh?
SS Revert is so much better, man.
Bro's engage isn't the best. Well, speaking of engage.
Oh, if it's GP, you go SS Reaver.
Morgan
It is
I go SS Reaver, you can
be absolutely fine.
It is an SS Reaver.
Like,
you're supposed to buy SS Reaver. He buy Trinity on Gangplank. What the fuck?
15% movement speed actually makes it a lot easier to dodge the poke, but also if you're trying to close the distance on a T1, that extra movement speed,
you don't need attack speed on Gangplank, man.
is really impactful.
Well, we're just going for it here as Umpty running towards Carrier.
Don't have
and
enough.
Killer Instinct going to be used by Gumushi to get out of the way of Morgan.
That was neat, but also T1 kind of out of position there. Oh, effort, don't do it!
Oh, man, even Jonas Strong thought that was going to hit. Okay.
Everyone is so EXP hungry now.
Even the Flash,
you know,
he's getting number one.
Max effort right now.
It was max effort, but it was also maximum amount of time before he was just dead without even pressing the button, you know? Huh. I like it. I think it's good. Keeping us on our toes. There is certainly
I'll take a look at
this,
the game while I put this on auto.
Honestly, how this series has gone.
Wow, bro, it's 3-0. Wow, Cassante is 2-0.
Quickly, the run time of that particular one was quite short. I feel like we're getting our money's worth here in this game number 3.
What is Gangplank buying Trinity for? What does he need the attack speed for? He's gonna right click Cassante. What's the attack speed?
They don't have a wave, they don't get power, and bro, answer pretty quickly. All out is down now.
I've never seen Zeus play GP. Why suddenly?
Umpty is so far ahead.
You buy Trinity if you think you can 1v1, okay?
There it is. That is the moment we're waiting for.
Guaranteed.
Red buff secured.
Look at that. Okay.
Hey yo, now Karis is playing Faker's Azir skin Lamau. It's like the whole bro team is like trolling T1 or something.
It's not even really. It's almost like it's his.
Everyone's just playing SKT skin.
Wait, just kill Zeus, man. Why is Morgan scared of?
Kill him if Zeus is ever overextended.
It always
He's scared of
Gangplank because I feel like sometimes Gangplank can just win
the alpha.
Yeah, but I think you know with
there ain't no alphas on T1.
Okay. Morgan has, I think he's kind of chilling, but who really knows?
I mean, the alpha is injured,
if
so.
Zeus dodges everything and also barrels him like 3 times.
Oh my
and
god!
Is like 4 times.
Yeah, and also we're kind of used to seeing the blades. Gangplank
Guess I'll just level up some bullshit first.
He's gone for the majority of the time. We haven't seen Trinity Force Gangplank for a while.
Yeah, a bit bulkier with this build. Presumably will.
Oh wait, Pela's Nihility also.
Like fully.
Shit.
Why are you building Pela now? What?
IE or Navori.
Because I have E3.
Bit of a weird one.
Bruh.
Probably will go lethality, I think, after this. Or, I mean, I guess you could go like bruiser items, so that'd be very weird.
Would be
I thought you built based on waifu.
Well, Lord Doms, or, of course, you can go for...
Go build your Yukon.
Lethality.
Go.
I think LDR's fine. I think when you're into like such a...
I am building Yukon, what are you talking about?
Plus the Triforce means you're harder to like just blow up and also...
Just that everyone needs to build. Oh! Yeah. Just need to focus
right now, you
on
can see
one
Bro
first.
just want to be able to get some control around this.
Go build Yukon.
I believe there is a bit of vision for T1.
Focus on one.
In the back of the pit, but it has been switched off.
Yeah,
it is switched off.
Oh, they blue trinket though. Yeah, they can easily zone owner away though. He has to get there quick.
Yeah, how are you supposed to get over here? Nature's Grasp comes down, but they
nice!
Oh, beautiful. The Maokai is out of there, and the Poppy secures the Baron about as good as it gets.
Yo!
Bro, they take down the Cassante. T1 get their first kill, but they have
to
they
kill Cassante. Oh,
still left on the map for Bro. And I honestly have to say, their macro
what the hell is your
one
problem?
and this game here has just been great. It's been slow, but it's been great.
They've been so sharp at finding windows when they can go for neutrals. Like in the game 1, it was when Morgan had chunked Zeus out. They instantly went for the dragon on the back of it. And here, just knowing that they have the zoning potential for owner, Morgan playing Inchog, but then the Poppy ult is what comes out at like max range. Zakira Morgan ends up going aggressive here to try and just trade lives with the Blitzcrank, which does work. But the rest of the team has to run away, and now mid tower actually survived there, but bot tower did go down for T1, so they do have a tower on the board. But against a Baron, against some big item spikes coming in for Bro,
and soon to be against
a Cloud Soul. Yeah, they have to try and contest this, and also Poby hasn't quite got the Manamune stacked, so wants to get that done as soon as possible.
I don't want to do this event mission.
We mentioned
boring
already
as shit.
that T1 have a lot of answers to what Bro are trying to do, but I feel like if you fall behind, it is very difficult to execute on that. Poke compositions from behind are probably one of the most lackluster feeling
story
things
mission
to try and pilot.
It's not the
that you can possibly find in League of Legends.
that story event mission.
That stage, of course, T1 is.
I just played chapter 1 and it's already boring as shit.
You mean the glasses guy?
Part of the problem
as
well.
Oh, I didn't follow the story. I just skip everything.
Coming in as Karis, he does have a crown.
I mean, with how boring he plays this shit, I also just skip everything.
He's making sure
he talks a lot of bullshit.
On our toes. But yeah, Cloud Soul
I mean, it's basically like the storytellers in Genshin, those kind of events, the same story.
And it feels like,
it'd be like, I need inspiration.
You get set up on an objective early. You can look for things like Blitzcrank.
Stuck my nuts for inspiration.
And you can come backwards and give up space when needed. They just can't do that when they're behind like this.
Nope. And now in a turret going to be taken. Voidseeker not going to find anything. And they were setting up, trying to go for some sort of engage. Cannon Barrage was available, right? So T1 do offer a little bit more from the top side, even if Morgan and Zeus are there doing battle. But Bro,
you buy a collector against Kasante. Yeah, you're gonna get him low, alright?
I don't know.
Well, he goes for it onto Karis as the Nature's Grasp does come through, but it's another ulti, this time onto Gumayusi. And Killer Instinct not going to get
He's trying to burst Hannah.
Use it from that far away, so
he's trying to burst Umti.
It's not Umti hell. Umti poppy.
Now they're parking themselves towards the top lane.
He's trying. Oh, look at that burst damage. Oh, look at that crit. Oh,
doing some work, and that's going to deal with the minion wave. So at least T1 buy them.
Actually, you know what? GP should buy Infinity Edge.
But being able to wander through the enemy jungle is also
Infinity Edge SS Reaver.
It feels like they're just watching Bro take everything.
I think the cooldown reduction on Navori is pretty good.
Don't get me wrong, but they're just not
for the barrels.
And realistically,
barrels.
When you go fishing, you normally go for fish, not windows.
Whoa. That's true, that's deep.
Well, I don't think they're gonna win this game.
And then when I get a window, I get very confused.
It would be confusing. Sometimes you get a boot, like when you're playing video games.
Yeah.
You get like a boot or something.
Gotta fight them dogs.
I was actually trying to work out whether I'd ever fished up a window in that game, but it's been a long time since I've played Animal Crossing, to be honest. Anyway, let's see. Maybe there are windows in the ocean they could collect.
It's probably some, right?
Yeah, I think there probably are, sadly. It's just one of those things. Henna now farm things up in this mid lane, does have a Vampiric Scepter, so some of this poke can be mitigated if he does have a wave there. As T1 just backing away, playing into Bro's setup 1-3-1 that they have now on their hands. Karis in the top lane and Morgan there towards the bottom side. Of course, you don't push all that fast as the Kasante, but he has a Sunfire Cape, so he's got all the damage in the world now.
Exactly. So
it's like perfect items for a Kasante.
You need to walk there.
So much damage, so much tankiness. You're kind of immortal, but also you one-shot everyone.
Yep, and the CC.
It's a good vibe.
Oh, it's super good. Showmaker is very upset about the fact that Morgan has got to this state in this game. And like outer turret in mid, still up. 6,000 gold is the approaching lead here for Bro. But their Baron has worn off, and they didn't get a whole lot as, all right, there's the ulti. It's going to be charged by Umpty, but he decides he just wants to charge it.
This is one of the broken things about Poppy. When she first came in the meta, it's because they actually changed her ult. So when you spin it up and then cancel it, it used to be a 30-second cooldown. It's now 15. It's like, you can just do that whenever you want. And look, it's back up in like 2 seconds.
In fact, not using it is probably more valuable.
Yeah.
You hold it for zoning, and then if they don't respect it, then you use it and you get all the value. And then if they do, then you just get yourself the objective.
Just do on repeat.
Very nicely done here from Umpty, and we've already praised Umpty for his ability to play the Poppy. He's currently almost 2,000 gold just by himself in the lead over Ona, 40 CS up as well. There are 3 items on the gangplank. LDR was completed. We do have the Ginsus as well, done for Gumayusi. We're starting to hit some of these spikes, but I just don't know whether it's going to be enough because the scaling aspect for Bro is also just kind of absurd.
Yeah, they're completely fine. And, we're looking towards the Baron coming up in a few seconds. Bro will look to secure that and transition to the Elder. I think T1 know if they give either, it's going to be very hard. If they give the Baron, it's hard to leave the base to contest the Elder. They're trying to make their presence known now and push up, but Bro are giving them no space.
Nope. Just trying to make sure that they have to be as far back as possible, as Grand Exit going to come through there as Morgan able to get himself out of the way.
What?
Hooks that
What's
they need
going
to
on?
worry about. And Carrier looking for these
Carrier
angles,
tried to hook
trying
Kasante.
make his Blitzcrank relevant, but the more this game goes, the more he's just one hook.
I mean, Kasante's in front lah, so he wants him to hook
how it
it.
goes. And into the back line goes Effort.
Oh, Effort!
Flash forward, the grand entrance, the quickness onto everyone, but it is a great mitigating.
Oh shit! Uma is trying to carry so hard and got busted.
He busted Hannah, but he got busted himself.
Bird will swoop in, grabs himself a couple of kills, and that should spell the Baron for Bro.
Honestly, felt like maybe it was a bit overforced for a second. Henna going very aggressive on the Kai'Sa.
I'm surprised Azir one-shot Guma. What?
And shutting out Gumusi, and now they
how
get
much
Baron,
damage
they
does that
trigger
scoop
the
do?
reset
What?
and head straight towards the Elder.
That scoop
and importantly,
scooped up 80% of his health.
about 7 seconds before Elder does.
I don't remember it doing that much though. Doesn't it usually do like half or something?
Yeah, what items does he have? Does he have Rabadons already? If it's Rabadons, then I'm not surprised.
CC everyone on the team, but then Henna,
Henna.
Ambition.
That was a very Henna play.
And I can do it too.
Yeah, it's around half his health.
Thankfully, Karis was there as the
It's
secondary
over half
carry,
his health.
and Bro have a bit of a
Yeah,
bump
it's
when it
Void
comes to gold as
Seeker.
well. As T1, they do
Void
make it
Staff.
towards this Elder.
Void Staff, not Void Seeker.
And now they're going to be completely split. Umpty just walks up to Ona. Gumayushi.
Oh, Guma! Oh my god!
Taking so
oh, he's getting.
Just chasing after him. In the
Why is Guma over there? What?
Look at Giga Chair. He's just tanking 4 people. Look at this guy.
Because he has a stopwatch, of course.
And he scooped Kobe, and there's no more carries.
Extraordinary from Karis.
Nobody gives a shit about Zeus.
Picking up another one of these POGs.
Karis was like, I'ma just go for the ADC and then the mid lane.
Bro have done it, ladies and gentlemen. They've taken down T1, and this is
all rules on me to be broken, bitch.
Plays team heading to playoffs.
This is honestly such a massive win. The rest of their schedule is very reasonable for them to be able to take, for them being able to drive forwards their wins and standings and make it to playoffs. A massive victory against T1.
The only team this T1 team won is against the last place team.
Longshin?
I'm just happy to watch
He can't even beat Bro.
I'm out of here.
When he's
can't even, bro.
Oh shit, man.
They can't